What? Oop. Hello there! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh, I'm so ready to bonk Papa Suey, assuming that we are gonna bonk him during this event. Like, I don't see why not. Or at least I want to see Wang bonk him. And let's see if the others join in too. So now for back to the present day. Golden erasing blade. The words can be erased by a writing knife. Their pages burned by candle flame. Historical manuscripts are fragile, as is the history they contain. Okay, let's stare at the map. Oh, it's not bad. 2 entrances, 2 exits. Yeah, it's fine. Not scary at all. Color. Hey, Zule. The regulator supervisor. Your uniform suits you. Supervisor. Zule reporting. At ease. No need to be too uptight for your first day on the job. Better that you maintain your youthful energy. Understood, Supervisor. Do you know where we are, Zule? Upon the peaks was the beast cornered and killed. This was the battlefield where we killed a Farinmut during the Great Hunt. But... Zule pauses, unsure if he can continue until he sees the patient gaze of the supervisor. This was also where countless soldiers and civilians lost their lives. Where living, breathing people faded into a graveyard of lines of cold numbers between the pages. You've realized something that many candle holders older than you do not. Hurry the fire that drives out the shadows of the Farinmut and travel amongst the people to learn their troubles. It was the first candle holder holding the torch that discovered the existence of the Farinmuts that made possible the war with the gods which secured Yan's future. Even today, the existence of Farinmuts is only known to a select few, which makes it all the more important that the candle holder's fire remains brightly lit where the shadows fall. I will do my utmost to protect the people. I'm glad to see your resolve, but let me ask you again. What are the Farinmuts in your eyes? What are the proxies who live amongst us within the season, on whom we keep a constant watch? The hearts of people are fickle, the hearts of beasts even more so, perhaps. Some amongst them have once aided Yan, be it out of a whim or true sincerity. But weighing the pros and cons, ultimately, they are different from us. They are enemies. Nah. Enemies, you say. Enemies. Maybe to you, Zule, but nah, they're fine to me. Okay, one day, our review. Supervisor. What are you doing here? Oh, Chun! Wait, she was the supervisor. Oops. She is alive. That's good. Ooh, the lemon must suck even more hearing that. It's like, ah, yes, enemies, you say. Ha. Ah. Yeah, hopefully that thinking changed. That question should be mine to ask. Were you taking the token from the Guard of Grotesqueries after the application was completed? Something was not right at the Sui regulator. And script guys were running amok in the Sky Mirror Pavilion. I wanted to wait for the situation to settle down before seeking your counsel. Then you can give it to me here. I've heard that it was not the usual Jade Rule that was retrieved from the Garden of Grotesqueries this year. I'll bring it back to the Sui regulator for further investigation. Acting on a subconscious instinct, Zule finds himself taking a step back from his familiar superior. My. I did not think there would come a day when Candleholder Zuo defied his orders. Cut the crap! You're Chun, head of the Sui regulator. A Shanghai Zone member. In the Sky Mirror Pavilion, a highly ranked one too, judging from your attire. Under normal circumstances, the patrol battalion would have faced severe penalties. And this is... Lady Chen? You're Zule's boss? Though I'm unworthy of this position, it is my duty. What are you doing here? Waiting for us to walk into a trap? Unfortunately, it is not you that I am waiting for. Hand over the token, Zule. And you may leave with your friends. We can discuss your association with undesirable elements later. I thought you would tell him to take me in on the spot to make up for his transgressions. We're in the courts of Yan, not some bandit camp. Fine enough for you to say. Who was it who encouraged Jie to enter the tomb of Sui so that the more dangerous proxy for Yan would die in Wang's place, catapulting her own career in the process? Dang, Moyi, how did you know this? Wow. Yan would be ashamed to have a descendant like you. Moyi, the supervisor's not like that. Really? Then why did she become the supervisor so soon after Jia's death? Only a thief sees thieves everywhere. Keep your mouth shut, for you are not worthy to speak her name. The Imperial Court of Yan does not pause or waver for any person or thing. All that it does is measured against the interests of Great Yan. The interests of Great Yan? It seems Lady Chen has something to say. Very well. I will give you 3 minutes in consideration for the risks that Zuolair ran to retrieve this object from the Garden of Grotesqueries. There is someone I am waiting for anyway. Ask your questions, then leave the token and leave this place. Waiting for someone? Yes, waiting for someone. Is it the proxy who holds a key? Why do you say that? Geist ran rampant through Baizhao, but Zule is the only one who is trying to tackle the script Geist at the source, and on no orders at that. The LGD was never so negligent, even when Wei and Wu's oversight was at its laxest. The first thing you asked about when you saw Zule was not the script Geist, but the token from the Garden of Grotesqueries. You seem to care nothing for your responsibilities. The Sui Regulator is not the police. Wu and Baizhao is more qualified than the Sui Regulator to deal with the script Geists. Yeah, who, huh? Your goals are in line with the Grand Commandments. You want the writing knife. And if Moyi is telling the truth, no one in Baizhao is closer to the writing knife than June. You do the LGD proud, Superintendent. Why are you assisting the Grand Commandments plot? What do you plan to do with Wei and Wu? Or have you already joined forces with them? Plot? You may have been an excellent officer of the law, Lady Chen, but it is not your place to intervene in matters of national interest. I've been to places and seen things. There's no need for Grandoy's words. If your plot is indeed in the interest of the nation, you should feel no shame in saying it out loud. Only those involved in political squabbles would keep bringing up national interest when questioned, beating around the bush and deflecting the question. You should be careful with your words, Lady Chen. The matters of state are complex and interconnected, and it is not unusual for officials to have differing views. Your words insult all who serve the state. For 1,000 years, the Sui Regulator has had one mission, and one alone, to do what is best for Yan in matters pertaining to Farenmut. Nothing else matters to us. Even if the Grand Commandment's actions are indeed drastic, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. The use of the writing knife does not constitute treason. Then what is he planning? At this point, I doubt this damned old elf is gonna talk. I'll do the talking for her. Moyi with the inside information. Just as I suspected, the Grand Commandment wants to rewrite history with the writing knife and completely eliminate the bestial Sui. The price is a true lung's life. But why? Why does a true lung's life have to do with destroying a Farenmut? We were just talking about it before we were interrupted. 1,000 years ago, the Grandmaster discovered a piece of originium that he presented to the True Lung as a weapon that can end the Great Hunt. Realizing its importance, the True Lung had his Fangshi perform a ritual that linked it to the True Lung's bloodline. Henceforth, the power of the originium may only be harnessed by the reigning True Lung. The True Lung had a bit of a conscience, at least, and he set a condition in the ritual, probably to prevent his descendants from abusing it. The full power of the originium can only be unleashed by sacrificing the life of the True Lung. Hence, it was given the name Bu Fan, no rebellion. But does the True Lung's life to be sacrificed really have to be the Emperor's? Why did the Grand Commandment go to such a painstaking length to obtain this writing knife if his goal was merely a coup? You mean, the Grand Commandment wants to use a writing knife to change the record of who the current True Lung is? The Grand Preceptor incited the prince to regicide. What is the truth of what happened that night? Who sent the Yulin Guard away? Who actually entered the Emperor's chambers? These things are not specified in the records. Therefore, the records of what happened that night can still be rewritten using the writing knife. If the history books and Bufan recognize Lord Wei as the reigning Chulang, then the life of the Chulang obviously refers to Lord Wei's life. I thought that you were young and that though you may have strayed from the righteous path, you should be given the chance to right your wrongs. Regrettably, it seems I cannot allow you to live. June? Not putting on a show of honesty and uprightness anymore, are we? Supervisor! Hand over the token, Zule. Whatever happens after that is none of your concern. If what Moyu says is true, then I voice my dissent to your method, Supervisor. I cannot comply. Thank you, Zule. I don't want to damage the Sky Mirror Pavilion. They'll make me do this. You're talking to the wrong person. I have the token. Chen's vision is obstructed by several maple leaves. The lamplight sways slightly. Chen steps back and prepares to engage, only for Moyu to step forward and block Chun's attack. So the supervisor of the Sui Regulator is not above sneak attacks, like a thief. One can be subtle and reserved with words, but actions must be decisive and without hesitation. It is true in Wei Qi as it is with all things in life. Supervisor. I read about the writing knife in the past. In Jia's hands, it can indeed alter history and greatly influence events. We are not proxies. Our tempered historical records will never endure for long. An instant is all it takes to activate Bufan. Besides, after this, there will be no longer a disgraced, deposed crown prince in Yan, only a pure Chulang whose legitimacy is beyond question. Is that right? That is not the Sui Regulator's concern. Since her death, Great Yan's history is already in tatters. One more change will hardly make a difference. How can you be so sure that we cannot record history truthfully? Chen Chao Qian, Magistrate of Water for the Sky Mirror Pavilion. I wanted to ask you as well, Supervisor. For many years, you assisted Jia in compiling history in her office. Why is it that you have now turned to tampering with history? The records of Yan are classified into 4 parts: classics, history, philosophy, and literature. The divisions of history and philosophy may seem distinct, but even the masterwork of the one venerated as a saint of history was merely the personal treatise within philosophy. Those who follow, modeling their brushes after his style, produce what is ultimately but the statement of a single house, and the House of Yan. Those writings are no more than comments after the fact. The truth has long faded into the cracks of time. How could you say that? You must have read the saint of history's notes. Despite imprisonment and torture, he always wrote the facts as they were and exposed injustice. You must have read the history tomes of the Sky Mirror Pavilion, written by thousands of sages who poured their hearts and souls into them, striving to set the record straight, to weigh every word in judgment of right and wrong. You must have heard the unofficial historians meticulously investigating and analyzing their sources, vetting not the court's wealth and rank, but striving only to uphold justice for the common people. I saw with my own eyes the elders of my family dying on the white fields of snow because they wanted to write down the truth. Nay, because they were honest to themselves. These people who wrote history with their own flesh and blood, who willingly became the flame to illuminate the truth even for a moment. Who are they to you, Supervisor? They are the writers. True and false, right and wrong, these things always depend on the stance of the writer, rather than the one who is actually right. You ought to know, even with the revisions of countless esteemed scholars, the histories we read are still rife with embellishment, omissions, and lies. The ironic thing is, we could not even call such things evil. The curled leaves make a sharp sound against each other, questioningly, lamentingly. Chun, Chun, Chun. Like, seriously, what happened, girl? She went full-on villain here. The years were not kind to her. They plan to make Wei and Wu the sacrifice for Bufan Originium, instead of Chulung using Jia's writing knife for that moment. Huh? Yeah, I bet Wei and Wu is supporting this. That's why he ran away. He's like, yes, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'd rather not talk to my little brother. Plus, if I run away now, Fumizuki won't get mad at me. The curled leaves make a sharp sound against each other, unquestioningly, lamentingly. Stand back. Chen Chaoqian, You're neither candleholder nor Shanhaizong. You're the niece of a deposed crown prince. This is not your fight. Did the Imperial Historical Cabinet truly make up responsibility for writing history after her passing? Did the Sky Mirror Pavilion truly fulfill its duty of righting the wrongs? You are the descendant of historians. If you take up their mantle, can you truly guarantee that every word will be true for all eternity? No. You dare not shoulder this responsibility. I know about you. You wanted to change the Sky Mirror Pavilion's culture of obsession with the analysis of ancient history while neglecting recent history. That's why you took up a minor position in the Sky Mirror Pavilion, hoping to lead by example by studying your family's history. Decades, centuries, millennia. How could you claim to speak for history when you have not borne witness to time on a scale that she knew? Stand back. The maple leaves sharpened. This time, no one saw what Chun did. All she did was wave her sleeve. The next instant, Chen Chaoqian was lying unconscious on the floor. Chaoqian? Supervisor. She's just unconscious. She'll wake up in a couple of hours. There is no need for her to sink any deeper into this mire. She's but an unfortunate ordinary woman. She shouldn't have to be like you, or like me. Chun, you should relate to her though. Like how your family was written badly about in history. Same for her too. Then again, I guess that's why she knocked her out instead of like, flat out killing her. Like, I feel bad for you. You're also wrong by the history books. I hear elves live a long time. We do. You don't believe in history or in lasting justice in people's hearts, because the one who had walked side by side with you on a long road of time died because of you? The question is not yours to ask, Chen Huichie. As an elf, you don't know where you came from, whether there are any of your kind left, or whether there'll ever be a home for you. My past, present, and future belong to Yan, and that involves tossing your fellows into the abyss? Having her die in Wang's place was the appropriate decision under the circumstances. This is beyond all doubt. Compiling history, recording the passage of time. Have you had any idea of the power of these years? The power of time? The beast walks with the generous earth. She had gone one step further. Her power was rooted in words and lived in history. As long as the records of Yan continued, her power would continue to grow without end. If left unchecked, what sort of monster would be created in the end? It would be something even more powerful, even more terrible than Sui itself. She was my mentor, my confidant, my friend, but I could not endanger Great Yan with my own selfish interests. I've seen people like you, people who abandon their friends, but long to see them again in dreams, in order to beg for forgiveness. Head of the Sui regulator, what would you do if there was a way to see her again? I warn you, do not play games with the lives of millions for the fantasies of a madman. Wang did not go into the tomb of Sui for the sole purpose of eliminating Sui. The object he had you retrieve from the Garden of Grotesqueries surely has something to do with his deranged plans to bring the dead back to life. I'm surprised. I thought you got along well with her when you were her candle holder. Isn't there a part of you somewhere who wants his plan to succeed? He already failed 120 years ago. He will fail again. Allowing him to continue on his reckless path will only lead to more disaster. Nah, he learned in these 120 years. He's gonna flip the table. And yeah, mixed feelings about having them putting judgment over her actions on Jie. Like that was a rough one. Plus, Jie was willing to go anyways. That's what she said. Like, regardless of what your answer would have been, I would have gone in the end. It was just an unfortunate question. How can I trust the madman who treats heaven and earth as his weighty board, and all lives and souls as his pieces? How can I trust a sinner who caused the death of his sister? How can I trust the obsession of a Farinmut? Oh, she really hates Wang. Because like you, he walked this land, lived in the seasons, and vowed to become human, to become part of this land and those who live upon it. Human? Humans are humans because they live and die. This is why they shine, as the candle's fleeting glow. She has lived, and she has died. Wang seeks to disturb the slumber of the dead, in defiance of the laws of heaven. Even if his illusions somehow came true, how can he be sure that it is the departed herself who has returned and not a geist, a hollow puppet that only carries her image? You just don't want to believe. Things seldom go the way people want them to. The outcome may not be exactly what we want, but to be shackled by regret and not even have the courage to take a single step, that is nothing but cowardice. You have a way with words, Chen Huichie, but I don't see how you intend to carry out the justice you speak of. The token and the key, I'm only here for them. Continue to play games with words, and I will crush you before dealing with them. Let's see who's crushing who. What about you, Zuole? I apologize, but I must cause offense. So be it. Those who stay near ink get stained. You've made some good friends, candle holder Zuo. Do your worst. Oh, she's willing. She's like, fine. And I like how she called them good friends. So, Zuole, since you're now on their side officially, are you finally gonna give Moi back her lock? I feel like she deserves it at this point, especially. Like, come on. I feel bad for her. And ooh, I just realized it's gonna hurt since I'm putting... Oh man. But no, it's okay. I'm just gonna be rebellious. As long as I have healers out, it should be fine, even when the stamps come down. And hello. Ouch. Okay, yeah, that was pain. That was all pain. It's a good thing Thorns can take care of himself on that side. He's a healthy boy, even like regardless of everything else. Over here's fine. Yeah, totally fine. June is slowly approaching. This will be an interesting fight. Funny. There. Sorry, Silver Ash, you're here to suffer. He'll be fine, though, in the end. Nothing wrong with a tiny bit of suffering. Yeah, no fear. Okay, over here. Oh no! I'm sorry, Myrtle. I didn't mean that. Oh, that was my bad. 1000% my bad. Oh man, I did not expect to go down like that. Like, oops. Oh, of course, she's saying it's not even her final. What's too bad for her? Shoot, I'm here to suffer. Oh wait, those are not bad guys. Those are friendly. My bad. Oh wait, I can't heal with Adele from here like that. Oops. Actually, no, that's fine. Hehe. You almost hit a bookshelf. I'm no swordswoman and I have no interest in admiring Qishao, but it would be a shame if your sword ruins a collection of the Sky Mirror Pavilion. But you're not confident about taking the token from me. Is that so? The elf now truly waves her jade scepter and twigged for the first time. Withered vines rush out from the ground, forming massive hands. Damn it, she's a nightmare to deal with. Is a Sui regulator supervisor decide through combat? How does the book go anyway? Ah, I remember. It's autumn, this is perfect. Metal's nature is change. Take this! For a thief, you're pretty well learned. I wouldn't be surprised if I know yin yang and the 5 elements better than someone who's forgotten her roots. Zule, Chen Huichie, your turn. Zule charges towards Chun, intent on disrupting her ability to respond. Meanwhile, Chen Huichie pulls back, waiting for an opportunity to strike. In between them, Moyi unleashes razor-sharp autumn winds, tangling with the vine hands. The supervisor of the sweet regulator continues to stand where she is, utterly impassive, as though she is watching a farce that she's becoming increasingly bored with. Chen Huichia continues to back off until her back is almost touching the closed door. Damn, can't hold on much longer. Chen. Chi Xiao splits the clouds. Riding in the autumn wind, the sword aura sweeps away all the vines. The elf looks surprised for a brief moment. Then dried leaves sharp as razors fly out from the vines towards the trio. Moyi urgently casts a defensive spell, but the leaves cut their clothes and bags open. The token that has slumbered since it was retrieved from the Garden of Grotesqueries falls on the ground. Oops. This is the token from the Garden of Grotesqueries? It is a Geist. It is indeed a Geist. The Weichi player had taken Sui's wildest imagination from the Garden of Grotesqueries and hollowed out the interior, leaving only the gleaming exterior. The memories of his siblings were then injected to create this object. Made of a glass-like substance, the tiny Geist lies immobile on the ground for a while. Then it seems to grow ethereal. It awakens. It does not seem to feel pain, or perhaps the pain was overcome by the urge to return to this familiar place. She begins to stumble towards the door. That is... impossible! All it takes is a single thought from the elf, and the churning vines could shatter the object to smithereens, but Chun cannot bring herself to do it. It's too cute! I think Jie would be sad. Because she truly does see a familiar figure in it. The object touches the door, and it is as though a dream that has slumbered for 100 years is suddenly awakened by an intruder. The falling dust forms thousands of golden threads drifting in the air in the settling sun. The sliver of life force ripples. All breaths are held as they see the ethereal figure that drifts between light and shadow in the falling dust. Hi, Jie. It is blurry, indistinct. The only clear feature its grey robe, like paper that has grown yellow from the passage of time, but still smelling faintly of old books and dried ink. Oh, she's looking now. The door opens slowly. Memories. How did you get in, if you gave me the key? Why should the master of the house need a key? The shadow bends slightly, as though trying to pick up the cracked scroll on the desk. Or perhaps it is walking towards the window to open the sash closed for so long, to see if the osmanthus that was young back then has bloomed this year. But her movement ultimately freezes between the done and the undone, a faint wisp of melancholy suspended in the sunset. With a scroll on the shelf by the wall, you have a document on the desk. It's not yet finished. A painting from dusk? I should find a good place to hang it. Why do I have to do these chores for you? Oh, the neon-sitter candle holder even helps her put together mahjong games. Desk, chair, and scrolls, every object in the room breathes with the shadow. They are old friends, and she is the reason they never left. A gust of wind blows through the storm, or through the room. The Geist falls asleep, and the shadow dissipates like a drop of ink that falls into water, leaving behind only that which is real, the shadows of dust. And the sun shining into an empty room. It's... her. No, she was a little taller, and her hair a little blacker. She was thin, but not like that. She would not accept, yet there was a single question that she could never answer. Who else could it be? Wow, though she remembered her that well, huh? Who else could it be? The Sun Elf does not even notice the appearance of the proxy, one who is very much flesh and blood. She continues to stand at the same spot, staring in the direction where the shadow disappeared. I came as you asked, but it seems you no longer have anything to say to me. It's her. It's really her. I never thought. I didn't think there was any trace of her existence left. There's no doubt about it. It's a sliver of her life force, which those young people retrieve from the Sui remnant consciousness. As for the traces of her existence, they're in the books of the Sky Mirror Pavilion, and countless scholars across the land of Yan. Now, do you still believe that everything we siblings have done since Gia's disappearance is futile? Candleholder Chun? If you can still find a trace of her somewhere, tell her. The long-lived candleholder chokes on her own words. She gazes wordlessly at the study, the interior of which has not changed for a century. Tell her what? Having taken it all in, she turns around and slowly walks towards the exit, fighting the urge to look back at every step. Leaving this place she knows best, yet brings her the most despair. I did not know that Wang's obsession was this paranoid, yet so deep. I saw you at the city gate, and we meet again. You are... June? Thank you for protecting her token. Lady June. No, Master June. I heard you were a close friend of the Grandmaster's, and I have long heard your name spoken of with reverence. It's an honor to meet you. Don't try to curry favor with me. I'm not even sure if I had been born at the time of the old carpenter's death. I'm glad to see that someone still remembers his views after 1,000 years have passed. But did you do what you did at Mongshan Town out of a desire for peace, or out of your own bitter cynicism? Do you really need me to tell you? The old Tianchi gave you an opportunity to make up for your transgressions. Have you done so? The proxy does not raise her voice, and there is no anger in it, but her voice naturally begets respect. I've long heard of the second Sui sister's unapproachable nature. Today, I got to witness it. There is always hope for those who learn from their mistakes. Zule. Academian June. Words cannot express my gratitude for you, bringing back this sliver of Gia's life force from the Garden of Grotesqueries. Our family will remember the favor and repay it when the time is right. I'm simply doing my duty as a candle holder. The supervisor lost her composure, but the candle of the sweet regulator remains lit. She was trapped between the greater good and personal desire, and was eventually crushed by her own obsessions. You must not repeat her mistakes, when the time comes for you to take on great responsibility. Me? Now though, it is more useful for you to go outside than to stay here and look at the relics of the past. Take this girl too, and put her somewhere safe downstairs. It is late autumn, and the floor is cold. I trust you will handle this matter, the matter of the running knife properly. Academian June. Of course. One more request if I may. June turns around and picks up the geist from the ground. She has turned back into a small, quiet doll, perhaps exhausted from the action she just performed. You know that this geist was formed with the last speck of Gia's life force. Wang drew you into the game, and had you retrieve this object so that you could deliver it here and allow it to recuperate, in preparation for her return. But consider it a burst of sentimentality from a reunion with someone long thought lost. Please deliver it to the tomb of Sui. The future is yet unsettled. Our family will gather outside the tomb. I do not know if the day will come when Gia returns, but if Wang sees it as Gia's foundation, she should be there for this meeting. Wang is in the tomb and I must help him. There will be a battle. Carrying this object would be unsafe, and perhaps cause a delay. Leave it to me! The Shanai Zong snatches a token from the woman's hands before the candle holder can react. I will see it done in the name of Lushi! The dignified woman bows deeply to the two youngsters. Thank you. Lady June. You blocked the attack against me at the gate and protected Gia's legacy. Has chivalry become a habit of yours? I do what I do for the sake of justice. What is justice? Justice is making sure that Wei Yanwu does not die an unjust death and giving the old case a proper trial. Justice is bringing closure to all that has happened between mother and father, between the imperial family and the House of Chen. Justice is making sure that the proxy who did so much for Great Yan did not die in vain, and giving Great Yan a chance at peace. What about justice for you as an infected? Ah. I've seen so much suffering in my journeys. This land has been too kind to me. I wield my justice for the sake of others. Chen is so cool. Very well. I can't help you with the justice you seek, but perhaps Hirela can. Do you mean the writing knife? Take it. The justice you seek is closely linked to the incident 40 years ago. You're the only one whom I can entrust this knife, who can right the wrongs for your family, for your country. Chen, you're the chosen one. There should be closure to the matters of the Chen family, Lord Wei's decision, and the 1,000 years of records for the land on which she once lived and breathed. These were the hopes that she placed upon the writing knife. The history of Great Yan should be written by the Yanese people. Come with me. They walk into the room. Like revisiting a scene from an old play, June slowly walks through the room that has not changed one bit in the past century. Everything is familiar. No one has touched it for 100 years. It's been a while. The writing knife has resurfaced, but is no longer in your hands. I've entrusted it to the wrong person. I will shoulder the responsibility for any consequences on your behalf. Chen's palm closes around the knife. Her fingertips tremble, as if the weight of 1,000 books is upon her heart. She's given her all wholeheartedly, and sacrificed herself selflessly. Now, everything has come together as appointed. She clutches the writing knife. In her eyes, something sinks, and something else burns bright. It is the weight of an era, and a reunion that the knife has long awaited. I hope you will not disappoint. I will not disappoint. Ooh, shaking earth? What's going on? The guys just appeared out of nowhere. The annals of Mongshan Town record that similar scenes of rampaging geese were spotted during the turmoil caused by Sui 120 years ago. Is the bestial Sui awakening? What a headache. Yes, it's happened after all. Number 2, you fool. Why are you dilly-dallying? How many times do I have to tell you to bail you out? Lin Qingyan. What are your instructions? This is where the geese are most rampant. They must not be allowed to enter by Zhao. That's Chen's second story that we see in the cutscene. It was Gia's writing knife. Hey, dear sister. What happened to my writing knife? It's like, yeah, it's being used to bonk people. You and I will guard this pass. Do not let a single geist through. Yes, master. I can't hear you, girl. Look lively. Treat this as your entrance exam. Pass the test, and I'll take you as my student. You can make your old teacher call you master. I wouldn't dare. Is there anything I can help with? Help? What could you do? Watch my moves and record them. Then you can show them to your teacher and see who's better. The fire rises. Oh, now we're actually here. Wait. Huh. Wait for me. Huh. You run too fast. What's the matter? You're the one who's in a hurry. If you're out of breath, give it to me and I'll deliver it. In your dreams? You blockhead! Did you think about how we're supposed to enter the tomb of Sui when we arrive? We'll explain to the soldiers guarding the tomb and ask them to let us through. Right. And how do you plan to explain where you got the thing you're holding? Or maybe find a way to sneak in. Your brain really is made entirely of wood, isn't it? Do you have an idea then? If we can't get inside the tomb of Sui, we'll find someone who can. Do you mean? Who's there? Show yourself! Zula senses a hostile presence and instinctively draws his sword. Hiya. The thing you promised me. And hello, hello. Hand it over. Green. The Forbidden City is just ahead. It should be heavily guarded if the Grand Commandment really intends to sacrifice Wei and Wu's life. There are guards stationed at all the important intersections in the city. It should not be hard to detect unusual movements by a large force. Wait, is that... Chen stops in her tracks. She sees a figure. A very familiar one. Hi, Wei and Wu.
Wait, Jie. You should not have come.
Too late.
戦場の確認は不要だ。
You're just being so nonchalant there.
敵の末路は全て把握しているから。
Ooh, look, it
Hey,
converges.
Hey, Misaki,
Yeah?
what do you make of Jun's rather bitter personality and in a way stoic? Quite the contrast to the simple times where she and Jie was just friends enjoying history together.
I mean, I can see why she's bitter. She blames herself and also Wang for Jia's death.
Based on Moyo, I imagine the candle holder in that time after Jie's death. She most likely reported the events and what she have done. Maybe in the eyes of her colleagues, that's how her action was remembered, and that's what she did was for the group, right? Jan, leading her dear friend that she became attached with, despite it, to her death, while upping her career position. How did Shun felt being regarded that way? And most of all, did she ever deny that? In my eyes, I feel like she didn't.
That's why she feels like she doesn't deserve her position.
June put it the best. She was caught in a bridge in the middle, caught between for the greater good and personal desire. And the one she chose, the justification in that moment was the greater good. Maybe for her, it was something she needed to keep going. Or rather, it was the feeling she decided as her true feelings, cutting away her ego, her desire, but never truly could get rid of it. Seeing Jie in that fraction, I imagine resurface those feelings. At that moment, all I saw was just a broken woman trudging away.
Like, even in the past, Chun was saying how she often thinks about her deceased mother, so she probably often thinks about Jie as well.
Yeah.
Which is why she can imagine her so clearly, like, oh, it looks just like Jie. Actually, wait, no. Jie is a little bit taller, her hair is darker, and she's not that thin.
Feels
Remembering
kinda
those details
bittersweet.
after 120
No.
years.
Feels kind of bitter in a way. If there would be a Yan event, I would welcome as June as the leading if there would be some type of closure in her story.
Hopefully, after all this, Chun's gonna be okay.
Yeah. She's been carrying that feeling 120 years after her death after all.
Yeah.
And imagine closure doesn't come to her so easily. As in the case of Wang.
So this might help a bit. And ooh, defiant spirit. No looking back, no regrets with every move. Huh. 3 entrance, 1 exit. Go get him.
There's no end to them. Look out!
Where do these monsters even come from, and just how many of them are there? They don't even seem to be decreasing. In fact, there's more of them now. I heard last night the 3rd Battalion in the north lost half of their numbers. What? Have you noticed? I don't know when it started, but these mysterious monsters are looking even more realistic than they did, and more aggressive to boot. Where's our... Made, back up. We're in dire straits if this keeps up. Oops, he's exhausted. Oh, looks like backups arrived.
Stand up.
We must uphold our duty to guard the land.
Imperial Guards?
All units form a line and prepare to meet the enemy. There is no retreat until we annihilate all evil inside the city. Thanks for finally showing up, guards.
Your Imperial Majesty.
The Grand Commandment's sickness seems to be gone. This gladdens me. What is it that has you looking for me at this hour?
Has your Imperial Majesty forgotten? Just the other day, you commanded me to be here for the morning court.
I fear you must have slept to delirium. Court is long over. You are late.
No, not yet. The day of the full moon is tomorrow. This old servant shall accompany your Majesty and await your order.
I find myself uncertain why the Grand Commandment wants this done in haste.
I know not what your Majesty awaits. And also, what your Majesty has planned for the day.
That is none of your business.
Your Majesty's silence only keeps his servant guessing. Would your Imperial Majesty truly risk your sacred person to activate Bufon to settle the crisis within the Tomb of Sui? I know not whose slander your Majesty has heard. Resort to such an ill-advised course. With no counsel offered, am I not capable of making my own decision? 40 years ago, when your Majesty ascended the throne, it was the Grand Tutor and I who went with you to survey Bufon. I still remember your following our visit to that remote room. 3 whole days came and went without a single court session. To this day, I remain unaware of your Majesty's thoughts at the time.
You're like the strict and true to his ways type of deal, but I really think you're the type that would do things behind the Emperor's back without his approval. Which is why he got sick. It's karma.
I remember then as well. But now I no longer fear the Grand Commandment deriding me. So perhaps I shall share. I was only thinking, in Yan's 1000-year history with this object, not even once has there been a single true Lung who used it. If Great Yan were forced to use Bufon while I sat the throne, would I not become the weakest ruler in our history? If you'd grant me a presumptuous question, if your Imperial Majesty were to sacrifice yourself for the nation, how would it be run subsequently? Is there a cause for worry? Is my replacement not already in Baizhou as we speak?
He's like, I know you're planning.
The Mandarins would be unsatisfied if the deposed Imperial heir Yan Wu were to take the throne, and the country would descend into chaos. And what will happen then? The fault will lie on the Mandarin's shoulders. I only wish for your Majesty to abandon this thought. Ridiculous. You know well I am no match for the late Emperor, whom you so admired. Why not accept and anticipate my brother's imminent ascension to the throne, where he will be able to realize your ambitions? Why trouble yourself to persuade me? Your Majesty!
The old man suddenly tenses up, his trembling voice nearly hoarse. The man on the throne seems to have forgotten when he last saw the old man this agitated.
For the past 40 years, I've witnessed your Majesty toil tirelessly to grow our country. Not even once did you slacken from your imperial duties. In those years, Great Yan has enjoyed stability, our population swelled, and the treasury remains full. Has there been an era in our history, even more prosperous than this one, or an emperor more capable and benevolent than the one we have now? And yet, your Majesty, do you intend to idly watch as our nation's golden age vanishes into night during this turbulent time?
Yeah, Shu's time was great.
An urgent message from the Sui regulator. A strong energy wave has been reported from the depths of the Tomb of Sui. Far stronger than the wave 120 years ago. And how fare the troops and civilians? Under control at the moment, Baizao's peripheral blocks moved away before the energy blast, and non-mobile settlements nearby have also been largely evacuated. The damage is minor. Mount Mong has suffered more damage, but the Tianqis are at their posts, and the Garner Grotesqueries is still suppressing Sui. There are guys running amok in the city, and the Imperial Guards are cooperating with the patrol battalion to establish a defense line. They will give it their all. I see. You may go.
From behind the curtain, the true Lung rises from his throne and ascends the steps until he is next to the older man.
It's about time. You may withdraw, Grand Commandment. The battlefronts of Baizhou and Yumen await your commands. Your Imperial Majesty, for the sake of Yan, is your Majesty truly unaware why I so strongly advocate for war? Do you still remember why the court came up with the 28 policies? Victoria, Lithanian, Kasdel. This whole great land is plagued by unrest, Great Yan aside. We're now in terrible peril, and the nation cannot afford to be passive. We must proactively seek change. Has your Majesty not learned from what happened in Ursus? The Chamber of Heaven's designs has yet to figure out what sort of power managed to wipe out that entire Originium vein. If the Crystal Age truly ends with the depletion of every prime vein, then Great Yan must take the responsibility and prepare to lead all of Terra. Attack Ursus in the north, repel Victoria in the west, pacify Mitsukue and Kusarigawa in the east, and settle Rimbiliton to the south. Furthermore, we must keep a close eye on Columbia's developments as well as possible naval incursions from Ager's own sea. And before all that, while Great Yan stands at the height of its power, we must seize a chance in his fight against the bestial Sui to sweep away decades of weakness, hiding under peace and prosperity.
Like, wow, dude. Yeah. Like, this guy.
Only then will we manage to stand tall in this chaotic realm, undeterred for the next millennium.
The true Lung falls silent at the old man's speech, not only to consider all that was said, but also to calm his own mind. No one knows how much time has passed before he finally speaks.
You dedicate your life to wars for the country, and your military merit is without equal. But this has also left you with injuries and ailments. Have I ever doubted your undying loyalty to the country? But earlier you spoke of what befell Ursus, and that makes me wonder. Do you remember what happened to Gaul? Your Imperial Majesty? Your words were incisive. Yes, Great Yan should seek change and must change. But the way I see it, compared to the lives we may lose to this war with the bestial Sui, what we need even less is a true Lung past its prime, and this power accessible only to the true Lung for the past 1,000 years. If we talk of Great Yan's future, then I must say, my outlook is indeed brighter than yours, Commandment. Has Great Yan these past 40 years lacked for loyal and righteous men? The Grand Preceptor, Yu Cheng, Wu Chuan, the Grand Tutor, and yourself. My officials are loyal, my soldiers are fearless, and my people are principled. Where is this weakness hiding under peace and prosperity you speak of? As for the future you mentioned, you can take a look at my stead. Your Majesty, you still insist? The hunt of my ancestors' days, the remnants of the bestial Sui plaguing Yan for 1,000 years, should end with me. If we must inevitably spill some blood, then the true Lung should be the first one to spill it.
I respect, little bro. After a short silence, the true Lung walks to the doors. It has been a long time since he has stepped out of the place. Only an old man remains in the vast palace.
If I cannot dissuade your Majesty, then I can only strive to serve my duty. Send word to Yumen, it's time to make a move.
After the brief order, he disconnects the terminal and slowly walks forward. He passes through the curtain, finally stopping before the throne, closing his eyes and staying in his spot, as if waiting for something, until a cough he can no longer suppress bursts from his throat. The cough is so violent that he bends over and has to grab onto the throne for support. Oh, look who's still sick. One day before, an hour of high.
You came in the end.
So you were here. You don't seem surprised at all to see me, though. Chen Huichi is somewhat caught off guard by her target simply showing up before her. Still overbearing, still the overbearing posture, still the unfathomable look, as if they're not standing in Baizao's Forbidden City, but in the backyard of his official residence in Lungmen. The buildings behind him seamlessly blend into his dark coat, as if those palaces are merely an excessively ornate cloak over his shoulders.
But at least you weren't kidnapped. I still don't know just who on this land could manage that. Everything I've done has been on my own volition. I'll never stop hating that attitude of yours. Why are you here? Is this the backup plan the Grand Tutor kept telling you to make? His word should not be followed entirely. The situation should never have developed as he suggested in the first place. I have another plan in mind.
Either way, you're safe. So what comes next won't be much of a problem.
And what are you preparing to do?
Ensure you're safe, get you out of Baizao, then... Chen casually waves a writing knife in her right hand, its simple form leaving a light yellow scroll-like afterimage in the air.
Correct some mistakes made by you and your brother.
Like I'm taking responsibility and doing what you could not do.
I see. So the artifact is with you. I'm not too surprised.
Huh. And who are you supposing would deliver this writing knife to you?
It's no longer important. Since you have it, then you ought to know how to use it, and everything else about it.
I was pretty surprised. Every secret I've learned about you since coming to the city has opened my eyes. You know, I always admire your ability to hide so many secrets. I don't know if that's a good thing, Chen.
If you truly wish to rectify the mistakes I made, then you should follow me.
Follow you? Where?
Beneath the Forbidden City to the first Originium. The writing knife you hold will be of use, and will solve Great Yan's crisis. All will be made right. Of course, I prefer you hand the knife to me instead. It'll be quicker, and you have less trouble to contend with.
Nah, I don't trust you, Wei Yanwu. Chen, keep it.
But you won't trust me, and I'm sure you want to see it all yourself before you'll give up. I don't really mind, though.
Haven't had enough of playing the tragic hero. You're just conveniently skipping over the part where you'd actually lose your life.
We stand before a great crisis, and this is a small cost Yan can afford. There are no victims in this case. Your work ends here, Superintendent Chen.
Don't tell me you forgot. I resigned right in front of you 5 years ago. Though the man standing before me now isn't even fit to be called Chief Wei. Ah. You're telling me to watch you throw your life away, and that's not even the part of your words that's pissing me off the most. Your sacrifice isn't going to move anyone's heart but your own. And right now, you don't even have the right to end your life just like that.
Huichie, this is no petty squabble. This matter of concerns the fate of Yan and its people.
Of course I know that. But get over your own ego. The country's fate doesn't fall on your shoulders alone. There are definitely other things you should be doing besides glorifying your own suicide.
Very well. You don't have to come with me.
Wei, stop it. Just stop it.
Give me the writing knife and go back to Lungmen.
It's too bad I got 2 blades here, but I can't lend you either of them.
We don't have any more time to lose. And you still want it your way, Superintendent Chen?
I'm not the one insisting on having it my way.
Must you force my hand? Fine, show me! Let me see how much of your swordplay has grown in the last 5 years.
That's more like it. When Chen Huichie grips the hilt of her sword. When she first took up Qishao, she knew that this moment would one day come. She unsheathes her blade, pointing it at the Baizao autumn breeze blowing between her and Wei Yanwu. Bonk him. Bonk uncle. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I like this. I bet little bro's gonna exit the palace right as Chen is gonna bonk Wei Yanwu. Little bro will see big bro get his karma. As sword ear shadows trace.
Pass off as cast.
He must accept his long-due punishment with his family. Okay, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm trying to steer how they're gonna come out here. This could be fine.
ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。
Okay,
覚悟は
yeah,
い
no
いか
fear.
私が本気を出したら少々
This
荒れ
way.
るぞ。
And then over here.
お星様にあんたたちの悲鳴を聞かせてやる
Was it all we fine?
悪い知らせがある。来なさい。
Jen being as graceful as she is, if she needs some further persuasions, you can just call Mizuki over. Yes.
本気で行くよ。
I wonder what little bro would think of seeing Fumizuki yelling at Wei and Wu.
そんなにコソコソしなくていいよ。みんな
This is fine so far.
ちゃえばそれはもうバレてないよ。
So many of them.
みんなこっち来て。ここでは何も起きてない。ショーの日朝はもうじき終焉だけど、君たちはまだ何か待って
Okay,
る
so
のか
far
な。
so fine. This way just in case.
皆さんをお助けする時です。悪い知らせ、大声出してみなさいよ。
Actually, Silver actually doesn't stand there, but it's
お友達
fine.
が声を合わせて。りんごちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
Okay, so or 5 more enemies now. 3 more. Come on, come
油
out.
断しないように気をつけろ。
私に出会ったのが運の尽きた。指定の位置に向かう。まあ、本気で行くよ。
Oh, there's the others.
そうです。
At least some of them.
指示を待つ。
One and Bonk.
私に出会ったのが運の尽きた。
分かった。無駄だ。
Oh wait, one more.
指定の位置に向かう。
Almost there.
どうしようかな。君の
Get him.
すぐに分かっちゃったんだけど。
Ta-da! Go get him, Chen.
Huh. Huh. Do you intend to use Heaven's Eye?
Scared?
Skillful, but not yet the peak of perfection. The Grandmaster once said of your swordsplay, your skills improved much in 5 years, and you surpassed my expectations in comprehending Qi Shao's techniques. But you're still one step away from Heaven's Eye.
The Eye of Heaven sees all and nothing. Only when the clouds are parted is Heaven's wrathful eye revealed. Hello, hello. Let your heart guide the sword, never looking back. Turn around, and the sword loses its sharpness, harming the user.
I was only reminding you of its form, but I see you remembered it all. But you should be well aware a fog remains in your heart, so the technique is beyond your ability. Drop your sword. I especially don't want to go that far with you.
Will you use it though if I don't give you the writing knife? Just like you did 35 years ago?
Don't force my hand, Huichie.
When you walked out of the Forbidden City 40 years ago, when you decided whether Tal and her father would live or die, did you do it with the techniques, ideals, never looking back?
Huichie!
If that's what Qi Shao's final technique demands, then I should never be able to unleash it. Trial, justice, good and evil, right and wrong. They aren't weights you can easily tell which is better when placed on two sides of a scale. Don't judge a life until its end was never a positive term to use. The same goes for people, and even more so, they shouldn't be used and then unceremoniously abandoned. Workers in the Victorian siege, warriors in the Ursus tundra, and even the casino bosses in Dosiles, all of them understand that. Even the casino bosses! So you are right. I won't use Heaven's Eye. I can't learn it. It is not my blade work.
What are you getting at?
More than keeping a resolute will to abandon everything, I'd rather pick the path of knowing what I find impossible.
Huichie, you still understand?
You're right, I don't. I don't actually understand what happened that night, whether your father actually died by Qi Shao, or something more sinister. I don't understand what you were thinking. I do know Edward and Tao both bore the curse of their bloodline, but I could only watch from the sidelines. I don't understand why Mother resented you, Father, and even me on her deathbed. I'm only clear on one thing, and Tao knows it too. Apologies from the dead are meaningless. If there are people you want to apologize to, then tell them you're sorry while you're still alive. Otherwise, you're just a coward consumed by guilt to the brim, putting on a heartless and stoic act for a ridiculous facade. I won't let you keep making the same mistakes.
There's no real merit in winning a verbal fight. If you truly have a strike that surpasses Heaven's Eye, you shall indeed become a legendary Jannie swordswoman. Show me, through my blade, that you're right.
I'll show you. Hi, Chen. Bless a true Lung's wisdom. He should his older brother in high regard, that he can perform better at leading Yan than he did. He'll give Wei Yanwu he built Lungmen up from the ground up, but surely he doesn't know what kind of things Wei Yanwu is capable. The lengths he will go just to keep a castle of cards standing. Figure to the Grand Commandment, you can see where he's getting at. Like, hell nah! Yep. Chen silently watches Qishao to her left hand. Chen silently switches Qishao to her left hand and wields the writing knife with her right.
I'll prove that the dilemma itself is fundamentally wrong. You'll never get the right answer, no matter which side you take. I'll prove that before we reach an inevitable dead end, we can take a step back and consider other options. A choice that requires no sacrifice or abandonment, but allows all things to thrive. You plan to use Qishao's swordsplay with that writing knife? You said the techniques of Qishao were all but one state of mind, so it doesn't really matter which sword you use, right?
Uncle, I still remember your last words to me when I left Lungmen. Wei Yanwu's fingers stretch and bend before finally settling into a sharp form. A gale swirls around him, blowing his simple robes.
Wuchie, I'll respect your determination. I won't hold back.
Heaven's Eye, wrathful eye revealed, never looking back. Even without a physical blade, his fierce form remains like merciless sunlight, never to return once it is shown. Remorse does not linger on his fingers, nor in his sword's aura, yet it pervades the air like mountains of withered leaves in late autumn. Hesitation, regret, self-blame. She knows why the old man before her wields his blade. His pent-up emotions do not have to be expressed in speech for her to empathize with. Then, like a sigh, she thrusts the writing knife out. After the truth comes to light, a judge's long exclamation often feels heavier than the verdict itself. After the sigh, the sharp wind whirling around him dissipates like a fading dream, leaving nothing but a solitary palace, a desolate square, and the two standing in silence before it.
So this is the swordplay you meant. After I came to Baizhou, I heard some stories about my mother. When you left the city, she followed you to Lungmen. I never understood, but now, what other reason was there? She wanted to convince her brothers, her own two siblings, to make up. And now I think she was probably even more naive than I am. You met someone from the House of Chen. I owe your parents and them an apology.
There are some things that should be resolved with blood, but this family matter that has entangled your entire life, and my decades doesn't have to be one of them. You felt regret in the end. You dared only hold the form of Heaven's Eye, but not its spirit. You know what comes after remorse. The Heaven's Eye you wielded decades ago was before regret reached your heart. You saw all but a nothing, never looking back. And when you finally felt it, it gnawed at your heart non-stop.
You win. Of course you're right. But this way you stake everything on a war that cannot be controlled. Now countless Jannie soldiers and civilians have their lives on the line. Not just you and I.
Those with power and privilege love hiding their selfishness with big numbers and scary consequences. But obviously, there are plenty of other choices besides your death. There are many who stand with us, proxies who have joined forces with Yan, your own brother, and even, if there really is no other choice to take up the responsibility, there's me. Let's finish this conversation from earlier. The path before you is long and hard, but I know you will master it. I thought for a long time about what you meant by that, will. When I found the answer, I was loath to believe the conclusion it led to. But now seeing you in such a pathetic state, I can only believe it. From that moment on, when you placed your unfulfilled hopes on my shoulders, you were already old. You're old. You can't even harden your heart into stone as you did in your prime. You want to make amends, pay your debts. So you choose to die. You're old. You're so old, Wei Wu. Look at you being pathetic and old. Death won't let you make up for all you've done. Death won't preserve your last shred of dignity. Death will only leave a final knot in your relationship that can never be untangled. So don't do it. Don't do what Tal did.
Is she?
If you want to ask me, is she doing well? Then I'll tell you, no, not at all. But you should rejoice in the fact that I'm willing to talk about her with anybody, with you. Time for Wei and Wu to do some community service as well.
What's that? The horn signaling the attack. It's not from Baizhou, but outside. From Yumen.
Yumen's about to attack the Tumasui.
The Grand Commandment has issued the command, but whether or not the troops move is up to Zuo Juanliao. He cannot hold on forever though. Yumen's troops are not his personal army.
I should go.
To do what?
Our family matters have to be resolved, but those incarnations of the Fahrenmut, the same goes for them too. They'll try their best, and I'm willing to trust them. And the Grand Commandment. I can kind of guess what's on his mind. He's not selfish, but he thinks his judgments are logical and realistic. Disasters caused by people like him are usually the worst ones. Be it for Lungmen or what's left of the House of Chen, I should try and win whatever peace is possible for Yan.
I know you will.
Right. Before I go, and if you want, help me think up of a name for the move I pulled off. A name like Heaven's Eye that would get a young me all excited.
Heaven's Plaint.
Heaven's Plaint, doesn't that sound a little old-timey? Old man?
Surely you don't have to remind me of my age every 5 minutes. Even so, there are some things I must do myself.
Such as?
This time, I'll do something that won't leave me with regrets.
Are you gonna talk to little bro? Oh, back to their side. Running, running, running. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah. Zuole recognizes the person before him, the one steeped in malice, the mastermind who turned Yumen upside down, and an actual Fahrenmut. Zuole grips his blade and swallows hard, but the other party does not seem to pay him any mind, instead looking towards Moyi.
And where's the thing you promised me?
I didn't find it.
Then there is no meaning in leaving you alive.
With no hesitation, a long narrow blade manifests in Ya's hand, dazzling the other two with its silver glint. But wait! Kill me, and I'll never know where Bufan is!
What? Moyi, what exactly?
Faced with Zuolei's angry stare, Moyi can only turn her head away. Let me ask you first, what do you plan to do with Bufan once you have it? Just kill Sui, or do you want the whole city or even all of Yan to also die alongside your grudge?
That is of no concern to you, or of you.
I only promised to help you exact revenge against the bestial Sui, but before I give it to you, I need you to promise me something. Your rage can only be directed at Sui, and once you're done with your vengeance, you'll leave Yan.
Absurd. Why should I promise you anything?
No particular reason, but I'm not giving it to you unless you agree.
You've exhausted my patience with your life.
Zuole steps in almost instinctively and takes the blow. He realizes once more just how much power Fahrenmut holds. All he feels in his insides churning as blood spurts from his mouth. Sheesh! Zuole!
The Sui regulator would not allow you to harm anyone, even if she is a Shanaizong. Ridiculous. It is this very human game that I hate.
A light flicker of her longsword, and the candle holder's own blade flies from his hand as his throat meets the edge of her blade.
The whereabouts of Bufan, or his life.
No, wait, you can't! Don't hurt him. I'll tell you. The Shanaizong takes out an elaborate box from her pocket and opens it to reveal an ancient map within.
That's from the Sky Mirror Pavilion. When did you?
Sorry. Lord Zuo, I admit to the crime of deceiving you over and over again. Dare I ask you to trust me, and if a chance comes, to let me be the good one and make amends?
You mustn't!
Ignoring the candle holder's futile attempt, Moyi Wei hands a map over to Ya, the latter merely sweeping a glance at it before the parchment turns into ashes. Enough. I did what you wanted. You should leave.
You tricked me once and still hope for me to trust you? You should come with me until I find Bufan.
Ya raises her longsword but is not pointed at the two, instead slicing a rift into the air. Don't just stand there, run! Wei is swallowed by the rift, leaving only withered autumn leaves all around Zuole.
What did you do? Stop. Where are you going? I think it beneath me to make another move on someone I have no business with. If you cherish your life, then leave.
Zuole silently picks up his blade from the floor and steps forward into a fighting stance. Countless times he has done this, against formidable foes he thought he could never defeat.
So you have a death wish.
As if merely following the proxy's murderous intent, a chilling autumnal breeze blows by, and sharp withered leaves cut tiny wounds in Zuole. But right after, he sees something that he can hardly believe. The dead leaves turn into flowers and green, and the piercing autumn wind is gradually replaced by a gentle spring breeze.
Who dares?
Oh! Wow. Hey Ho and hey Ju.
Why do we always run into each other when a fight's about to start? This encounter is no different from the one 1,000 years ago. Our former foes are gone, as are our dear friends. You draw your blade for vengeance now. How is it not a futile grasp at the past? You too?
The proxy is loath to address her kin by the names humans gave them. If she realizes, how else are they to call one another? He ought to test these names. Ho. Ju. So you're both alive all along? And they never said anything to Ya during all these years.
As you can see, we're no illusions or walking corpses, so yes. There's no place for a chit-chat. Can your hidden realm welcome us as guests? I thought it and I were the last of our kind on this land. How have you two survived these last 1,000 years? And why have you come here today? Do you want to stop me as well? We don't intend to make things difficult for you, but are you aware just how much trouble you've added to our plates with your awakening and return to Yan? Since the day, I've been followed by hundreds of eyes, even when I'm just casually angling for some silverfin on the Dusk River. Staring at your decrepit shell. Ha, those ants sure experts at wasting time. Ruined mounts and streams, bodies weak and sick. That's all we are now, and you're no exception. Weak and sick, yet enough strength to leave another wound on it that will never heal. Is that the only thing you've gained from your long journey? After this millennium-long journey, all that remains in your head is wanting to settle the score between you two? Seriously, your smarts are not up to par. Anger, humiliation, discontent, confusion. You came back on account of these, and you used them as excuses to level your blade against your own kind. Humanity gave name to this obsession born of anger. They call it vengeance. You proudly claim to be a Fahrenheit and look upon human emotions with contempt. Yet you've changed. When did you become so obsessed with the boards and games humans play? And when did your primordial beings pick up the rhetoric used by those crass pests? Foolish humans, hunting our own kind. When have we ever suffered such humiliation?
Yeah, there's no experience in the millennia at all after sleeping.
When have we suffered such a betrayal? Vengeance, boards, games? This is the war between it and me that is yet to end. Land shorn of life, mountains split asunder, rivers choked with crimson. The war at the dawn of time is not worth my remembrance. Eons ago, before you granted these insects your cunning, they had long embarked on the wrong path. Now look at you, taking on a form similar to theirs, comical, ugly, broken, unbearable. You make me laugh. And you, Ho, the ancient bestial Ho, the nature of antiquity, you who once floated between heaven and earth, have too learned how to live like an ant. One can live as they wish in this realm, rafting, swimming, fowl watching, fin catching. You're not me, so how would you understand the joy I derive from this land? You find joy in dragging your tail through the mud? Seasons change, life and death come and go. Joy's but a speck, and sorrow the same. To me, these joys and sorrows are but floating weeds on the dusk river. Where the wind blows, I go. If one day a fin beast devours me whole, I should drift freely for 10,000 miles with the current. If a foul beast snatches me, I shall be lifted up into the highest heavens. Will you raise your weapon against the wind, a fin, a foul beast? Be used or cast aside is of the times. To act or hide is of my own will. That is what Ju and I have come here to tell you. Continue your reckless act, and you shall only meet your end. A firm must end. With your shell no more, it's only ash and dust. Simply put, we pity you, our kin.
Wow, they came here just to roast her. Like, wow. Pity for your kin? The two of you only leave me with shame. Didn't you say? The two of you, as primordial manifestations of nature and rules, are groveling at my feet to surrender the ages. Puny, weak, filthy, low. What grants you two rotting corpses have the right to call yourselves my kin? I'll lose my body. The end is only ash and dust. The destruction in your eyes is to me simply a return. A return. The sleepless chaos, the indistinguishable dawn. So what if I'm reduced to nothing? So what if I'm consigned to eternal nothingness? This realm is but a coffin with no borders in sight. 1,000 years I've waited, and the only thing missing is a dark red pattern, soaked, painted, lined, and carved. The breathtaking pattern made from its flesh and cries.
You take this realm as a coffin. Is it then not a waste, preserving this vast realm when only death awaits you? I dwell within a leaf, but I see the entire realm within. All things arise from the mind. I should stay free and unfettered. Is this the realm that confines you?
The land trembles from this master's rage. The chill of the cold, jade mountains grows even sharper from her raging fury. But the old man merely taps his long staff on the water's surface, and a plum blossom blooms on the river that has never melted.
Do you wish to face me in my own realm? Arrows knocked.
Yes, use your arrow, your staff, your pest-like form to smash all that you see as coffins. Then come with me in your sly disciple's stead, and take a good look for yourselves. Witness how this 1,000-year-old feud shall finally end. Yale's figure vanishes into the air, leaving only Ju and Ho in the frozen river.
Ju? I see stopping the war is no longer possible. Are we really going to destroy this realm she has preserved for so many years? Pity for your kin's really struck a nerve with Ya. But isn't that why we've been trying to make her see the error in her ways? How can we drive the knife even deeper when she's already wallowing in self-abandonment? So from now on, we must only watch from the sidelines as Wang's plot unfolds?
Yeah! Gotta hurry or else Wang might kill Steel.
We got the last once. We saved the candle holder, and even stood in for that precious disciple of yours. We've done our part for Wang. He probably knows we can't stop Ya, which is why he even let us involve ourselves in this troublesome affair in the first place. He really is like it. Only, he is a bit more. What's done is done. Let's just rest on this river and partake in the scenery from a millennium ago. Time's running out for it as well.
You're just gonna relax and watch from the sidelines. Eating popcorn. Ayo! Wait, I'm back? And you're alive too? Where's Ya?
I saw the old man and a person covered with machinery. They stopped Ya, and then they all vanished.
Someone covered in metal? Don't tell me! Damn it, I was so close! Why am I the only one who hasn't seen him? Forget it, since he's already here, I'm sure I'll get another chance to meet him when this is all done with.
Thanks for saving me earlier.
Saving you? Without my convincing performance, she would have thought my actual intel was fake, right? Wouldn't that be a real shame?
What? Were you planning? Devoting the location of Bufan to that proxy?
You keep asking me what mission the old Tanchi gave me, right? Man, you wouldn't believe me anyway. Maybe when you become that SUI regulator supervisor, whatchamacallit. What was that? And yeah, hey Ju, let's practice our roasting. That's a great idea, Ho. And then they did that for 1,000 years. From far away, a bugle horn sounds, sending Moyi in a frantic search for its source, but to Zuole cannot be more familiar.
That's Yumen's call to march. Yumen is preparing for an assault on the tomb of Sui.
So soon? The bestial Sui hasn't woken up, right?
The bestial Sui is yet to awake. The city's in chaos, and the Sui regulator still hasn't fulfilled its duties. How could they possibly issue the order to attack the tomb right now? Something must have happened inside Yumen. I should...
Well then, get going!
But we have to take that token to the tomb of Sui.
After a moment of silence, Zuole speaks with hesitation.
Can I trust you?
Just shut up and leave it to me. Since you saved my life earlier...
Stay safe.
Did he ever give her back her lock, though? Oh, now it's the day of the full moon. By Zao outskirts, near the tomb of Sui. Hello, hello. An old man stands alone amidst the dry grass and withered poplars, silently staring at where the barrens end, in the direction of Baizao's urban core. Oh yeah, I got pizza after work. I couldn't resist. I got Pizza Hut pizza. And breadsticks. Also Cinnabon. Yum. Think there's a chance he forgot, probably. Zuole is too distracted. I got half just plain pepperoni, the other half I had some mushrooms and bacon. Cause why not? There was a deal for 3-topping large pizza for 13 something. I'm like, you know what? A large for 13 something? Heck yeah. Gah.
It's been so cold this autumn. What are you doing out here all alone on a day this cold?
Hi, Grand Tutor.
Waiting for someone.
Oh, have you eaten?
Here, I have a bag of buns with me. Fill your belly a little. We can eat once everyone's here. If we're gonna wait for more, then I better prepare a proper meal. Buns won't do. Do you think they'll come back? What do you think?
Of course I think they will.
I know we rarely come together. We always argue whenever we do meet. We don't share the same hobbies we have, and we have conflicting personalities. But it's times like these that I believe our hearts are still as one. Are still all as one.
Aw, you's adorable. Ooh, tacos sound good.
Though even if everyone comes back, can we even... I'll wait with you then.
Okay, brother, you.
任務完了。正確かつ効率のいい
I want brother you's food.
ドクター。
How was the Chen's family drama?
Man, that was fun. I like seeing Chen just roast Wei and Wu, and also the roast against Ya.
For
I
me,
feel kinda
like
bad for
Chen's
her.
I mean, I like Chen's judgment on Wei and Wu. Much more effective than Chun since she was walking eggshells on that one. But this one is someone she knows oh so very well.
Chen's Wei is great. I respect.
Wei and Wu do be doing anything just to keep a stack of cards still standing. Wei and Wu be the type to say, I'll repay this debt 10 ingots face to face one day. Then proceeds to do collect it in my tombstone while giving a piece. Bro
Yeah.
really waited at the end of his time of his life just to pay that 10 ingots, even though he can do it anytime. Like, bruh, I don't know if that's pettiness or dedication at this point.
Freaking guy. I know, I guess we're gonna fight the studio already? Huh. I see red. It's called Capping the Stewie. Actually, let me stare at the map. Ooh, 2 entrances, 2 exits. I don't like that. Ew. Should be fine.
This stage is gonna be tricky.
Let's see how bad it is. The rain fell upon the battlefield for 3 days. Heaven's plaint as the board at last grows clear. Heaven's plaint. She kept the name. The day of the full moon. The sand blots out the sun. Zule crouches within Yumin's shadow, looking out at the wind aegis. The sand sluices the distinct silhouette of the cannons. The entire city slowly rumbles towards the tomb of Sui.
Yumin really did receive marching orders. But why would His Majesty order an attack on Sui before it is awakened?
After this moment of hesitation, Yumin is almost right on top of the crouching candle holder. Soon there will be no more room for him to move forward. There are only the city walls jutting up perpendicularly from the ground.
You wish to leave via the sand sluices? Have you perfected your Qinggong yet? Not to mention, once you head out. Never mind, you will see for yourself. Do not think that your fall will excuse you from punishment. It'll be one thing if you caused this trouble on your own, but you dragged Qingping into it. General, it was just because Zule. Do not make excuses for him. He should have thought of how to come back up before he jumped down. All that bravery, but all he knows is how to fight, and how to make others nearly die of worry. Back to your place, and once your wounds have healed somewhat, come and receive your punishment.
The city walls are only 10 some meters away from Zule. So he takes a great leap forward. The Qinggong others praise him so much is now the only thing he can rely on. Though the sand sluices have not started up, the wind aegis has been fully erected, its smooth walls nearly impossible to find purchase on. A single slip would mean a horrible death. Halfway up, and there's still battlements he can use to support himself, but to go further would be as strapping thousands of caddies to himself.
Faster!
As he passes through the yellow sand, the young man sees the figures of soldiers manning the walls. Many of them seem to have already forgotten just how long they have stood atop these ramparts. However, with the sudden blast of a horn, they have now been tasked with spending the rest of their lives on this new hunt.
Faster!
The higher he climbs, the clearer his thinking becomes, the steadier his steps. Even so, the final stretch of the walls is no stroll down a garden path.
Still 15 kilometers from the tomb. Can't see anything about Sui's movements from here. Still no news from the Sui regulator. Did the higher-ups really give us the order to open fire?
And yes, Big Papa. And hello, hello.
No, oh never! Yes, understood! Who?
Bonk.
My apologies.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Don't move. Oh, there's a spy! This area is long evacuated. Shout all you like. How would you know? What are you up to? I'm an Imperial Envoy. I've come to investigate why Yumin is taking action without permission. An Imperial Envoy? Didn't they already come by earlier? You think you can pretend to be one of them while sneaking around? Already came by earlier? Of course I am an envoy of the court. Don't you recognize these clothes? Be shit you are. There's nothing like the clothes they wore. They had proper court Mandarin uniforms on. The Ministry of War. How do you know that? Not long after the Ministry of War's envoys came to Yumin, the order to deploy was passed down, correct? As General Zua made a public appearance since then, before any great battle, he would always personally beat the watchtower drum to inspire morale. Are you really from the court? Of course I am. These marching orders did seem really strange, but if it wasn't General Zuo, then who could have issued them? I see. I've already untied your wrists. Returning to the tower now will most likely raise suspicion, so I suggest you wait here a while. Goodbye.
The soldier rubs his eyes with his numb hands, wondering why the young man, leaping away with his Qinggong, seems somewhat familiar. I wonder what Moi's doing during all this time. Is she just on the ground? Being like, where'd Zule go?
Father. Zule? How did you get into the city? I climbed up through the sand sluices. No, that's not important right now. I'm just glad you were safe.
Ooh, you Google today's contingency tapes topic. It's about an evangelist who apparently had a massive disappearance scandal. Ooh. Where she claimed that she was tortured and kidnapped after returning, but everyone thought it was a hoax. Yeah, that sounds like it could be a Mystery Files episode. What the heck? Ooh, I want some theories. What would have happened?
Where are the men from the Ministry of War, father? Why are you trying to find them? The orders to march upon the tomb of Sui and fire at it. If they were not your orders, then they must be theirs, correct? Otherwise, why would you be here alone like you are under house arrest? Silence! Do not presume to comment on military affairs. Father, the Grand Commandment is doing all this because he decided to overstep his majesty. He's vainly trying to fire on the tomb of Sui to start a war. The Grand Commandment has formed a cabal and will sit and watch as Baizhao is overrun by script guys, in collusion with the supervisor, the Sui regulator. Not only that, but he tried to seize the proxy's artifact within the Sky Mirror Pavilion, and also forced the chief executive Wei of Lungmen to attack Sui using some secret technique. None of these plans worked, which is why he has commanded Yumin to fire upon the tomb. His Majesty never gave such an order. The ones given to Yumin to move and fire are false. Do not be deceived, father. He did all these things to wage war upon Sui? Surely you believe me, father? Yes, how could I not? But know this, the tomb lies in front of Yumin, and Baizhao behind it. No matter what orders are given, the city must not fall into disarray. Those above wanted to advance, those below wanted to observe. When these two forces clash, they will cause panic in the city. If Sui truly were to awaken, the soldiers of Yumin will be decimated. But these soldiers, do they know they fight for the Grand Commandment's false orders and not the will of Yan? Before march, the general usually pounds the drum atop the walls to inspire morale. Have you done so, General Zuo? Without this encouragement from their commander, the men's spirits have not been lifted. On the contrary, they're confused. Are they truly braving Sui's claws to protect Baizhao? Or are they the inevitable first sacrifices at the altar for the belligerent Yan the Great Commandment envisions? Zuo, father, you're not only General Zuo of Yumen, but also the Lord Exorcist of Yan. We just received reports of a suspicious individual infiltrating Yumen. It appears he stole into your residence. What crimes should your son be charged for? His trespass into military fortifications, General Zuo.
It says Zuo Xuanliao is about to open his mouth to reply. Zuo steps forward, drawing the sword at his waist halfway.
I assume you've heard all I said earlier, sir. Considering you can still say such things after that, you must be in league with the Grand Commandment. You're talking nonsense, you insolent child. Are you going to turn a blind eye to your son's disrespect, General Zuo? Sir, I truly must wonder, why is the Grand Commandment so eager to wage war against Sui? They'll question your orders even now, General. With terror and such turmoil, the entirety of the court unanimously passed the 28 policies. But outside those 28, there were two more hidden policies. The first of which is that the Sui menace must be eliminated. If we do not eliminate it, surely you do not mean to wait until our enemies from abroad are at the gates? I shall tell you the truth, General. It's not only the Grand Commandment who supports this policy. More than half the court mandarins do so as well. And what does the Grand Tutor say? What does His Majesty say? It is not your place to ask. It is also a question that I haven't mean to ask, sir. Besides, the Grand Commandment and the Ministry of War, the mandarins of the 6 ministries and His Majesty, do they all know the facts? Do they know all the facts? Have they agreed to all this? These are not matters you should concern yourself with. Zuo Xuanliao, you're merely a general. So they do not know. Soldiers must heed orders, and Yumin cannot be allowed to fall into chaos. Thus, I'm willing to be patient, and watch as you replace me before a battle is met. But if what comes next is an age of strife, would your actions not be drawing Yan into panic, creating a new conflict within? I may be a military man, but I'm also the Lord Exorcist of Yan. Forgive me, but I cannot receive such arbitrary orders. You've put your own head on the chopping block. Guards, arrest this man.
Oh, look, it's Uncle. Who's this mysterious figure?
It seems you really are all preparing to revolt. Who goes there? I am Taihei, Monitor Censor of the Department of Discipline and Supervision. I happen to be here for rest and recuperation. And I must say, I did not expect to find the Ministry of War acting without authorization, causing unrest within Yumen. You need not mind me. I will not interfere in your affairs.
Yeah, good thing Yan is such a competent and wise ruler. Or else, oof. We need the lands to be united. Jan and Ager having a war proceeds to squint eyes with your hands. Oh no.
But so long as I leave this room alive, do not believe the events that have taken place today can be treated like they never happened.
The Ministry of War's envoy and his men freeze in place.
Enough. Here and now, I'm still the Warden of Yumen. If the Grand Commandment wishes to court-martial me after the matter, and whether I am to be sacked, exiled, or otherwise, I will submit. But as for now, out of my way. I must go see my men.
Zule fully draws his sword, shielding his father as the two of them walk out of the room.
Those so-called envoys are now in detention, father. Good. Next. Grave news, General. The city's communication systems have been severed. What? It seems those ministry men picked up where the wind was blowing before they barged into the meeting room. They performed some sabotage. We're relying on runners right now. The mobility layer still works fine, but there are artillery emplacements all across Yumen, and the orders have already been passed down. The orders the men receive keep changing. Begin repairs immediately, and do everything you can to stop the cannons from firing.
Oh, someone has to give him like a giant megaphone so he can run around.
Yes, sir. Taihe, relay my orders to the mobility layer. It shall be done. Zule, I shall entrust the emplacements within the deepest regions of the city to you. Yes, sir. One more thing. You've done well today.
Aw, he's so proud of his son. He's like, my son's grown up. Look at him.
Damn these monsters! There's no end to them! We can't hold up much longer.
Another 24 hours passed, and the fighting continues at the defensive line against the Geists in Baizhou. The strange Geists are like an endless tide, wave after wave, crashing against their defenses. Though they may be cut down, they always reappear stronger than before. There's no doubt the force defenders face now are the god hunters of days long past. Keep your chins up. The battle's not yet over. There is no time to admit defeat. The sword in her hand is bent, her armor slowly but steadily getting covered in massive scars.
His Majesty decrees. All soldiers, whether patrol battalion, Yulin Guard, or otherwise, are to gradually withdraw from Baizhou's core plate, join the troops stationed outside the city, and pull back defenses to a 10-kilometer perimeter around Baizhou. Pull back our defenses? That's ridiculous. The Forbidden Cities right behind us. Don't tell me His Majesty is prepared to abandon even the core plate? I double-checked. Those really are His Majesty's orders.
Your Majesty. A thought came to you about Wei and Wu. How come you have two kinds of friends? You have Edward, a righteous Draco, and Victoria, and the other is a black snake. You cannot tell me two are just acquaintances. Yeah, nah. Like, clearly they were buddies. Freaking Wei and Wu.
Where are you right now?
After 40 years, he steps into this secret chamber once more. He still remembers the emotions he felt the first time he set foot in here. Remorse, confusion, resentment, terror. 40 years has been long enough to smooth them away, long enough to grind away all feeling aside from the one known as helplessness. 40 years, passed in a flash.
If you're still unwilling to bow your head to Yan, then I alone shall bear your 1,000 years of rage. The sin of disloyalty, I shall also stamp out alone. This millennium of grudges and grievances shall end here. From now on, Yan will begin a new chapter in its history. Why wait for heaven to bless the nation? There is only the triumph of man over nature.
The Trulong looks towards the blazing radiance before him, as if he can see a pair of giant ancient eyes burning within, burning with a great fury. All he waits for is its signal that the Sui is fully awakened before he mars himself. Hi, Wang. The heart-pounding golden light has nearly faded away, All that remains is the afterglow that falls into Wang's palm. Within that very instant, a flood of jumbled, shattered memories flows past his eyes. With all his might, he reaches in to grab hold of a fragment, a splinter, anything with a trace of her. For 120 years, she has never appeared in his dreams. Finally, he grasps at something that survived. A record of a game. Not some legendary game handed down the ages, but rather a casual game between brother and sister as they chatted. He flips the record over, wanting to see what was written in that message she left behind that is missing from his memory. He finally reads it. You are a pessimistic one, brother. Always thinking that the heart of humanity is unknowable, an unending flow of evil. Only through careful calculation and reasoning can it be understood. I beg to differ. I believe humanity to be fundamentally good, evil deeds merely a covering of the heart. Thus, I believe there is no need to attempt to decipher it. Simply read the history books and learn the ways of the world, and you should understand through analogy. You knew I was lazing about, brother, which is why you came to give me a board written atop your board. Even before you placed your first stone, with that blatant scowl on your face, I knew you had come to poke fun at me. Both interpretation and analogy are fine. These split paths shall meet again, at the summary of the human heart, of our family. Only you and I walk this self-defeating road, always wanting to know the hearts of men. Perhaps we both obtain the same answer. The letter stops here. The Weichi player stares at the exquisite handwriting for a long time, seemingly forgetting the life and death struggle he was currently locked in. Split paths shall meet again. Split paths, she is long gone. But to meet again? The game nears its end. How amusing, she was the first of you to raise a flag of rebellion against me. I must admit, over these past 1,000 years, I truly did fear her growing power, even if only for a moment. But her plan was defeated by her lack of cunning, defeated by the unknowable heart of humanity. What is even more preposterous is that she chose to give you a chance to live.
She has never once been defeated. Through her own force of will, she bought the rest of us the chance to live. Because she believed that after her death, we'll be able to surpass you. Haha. How pitiful! Are you actually feeling regret? You came to do battle with me, so determined to die, but you could not even triumph over your own weakness. Do you care for her? Yes, I care for her. I once thought I did not. I thought the outcome of our battle should be the only thing I cared for. Until I learned something later on. The hearts of men, you a wild beast, will never understand. And so, you're doomed to pay the price. Enough. So this is to be your final struggle. This is the result of all your careful planning and preparation for 100 years. This amusement that you now present to me. Things are not any different from last time. The only difference is that now, you're even weaker than before. Or do you mean to say that, with her choice, killing would be akin to killing her, which is why you have not the will to make even a single move? Pitiful, pathetic, laughable. But no matter, none of it matters. We can wait here, there is time to wait. Let us see which of your so-called siblings shall come charging in to die with your stead this time.
The haggard Weichi player slowly rises from in front of the board. Only a few black stones left within his bowl. His movements are slow and stiff, so stiff as to seem like he had been sat there, withering away for the last 120 years.
As you lay there, half asleep, half awake, you turn the void within your body into a puppet, causing all sorts of trouble these past few centuries. You decided that puppet should walk in the dark, while he walked in the light. And so at first, he tottered as he learned to walk, and then he secluded himself to gather his strength, and finally he ran amok. But you forgot. When all is said and done, there's only one of him. If I had stormed in alone together to the game 120 years ago, if I'd forgotten how wide the board is, and how suffused it was with your might, then this time, it is his turn to have too much to do. He must cover all of Yan, and even lands beyond, dealing with black stone after black stone. This time, will you still be able to see through my stratagem? Ha! You tore yourself into 181 pieces, nearly driving yourself to madness, and you still believe this will be enough to fool me? What of it? What of it? A gravely wounded Fahrenheit, forced to sleep and recuperate, having to play a game with humanity while its thoughts are trapped in an unending nightmare. Such depletion will cut away at the root of your life. All your bluff and bluster cannot hide it from me. You're growing weak. And what of it? All you've done is walk the same road the first to leave me walked, doing all you can to delay my awakening. Do you truly believe you are awake? By killing me in every memory, every fantasy, will you be able to throw off the shackles of dream?
Yeah, old man. How could the clash between he and it be limited to these conversations? Countless possibilities, countless imaginings, countless conclusions. Even more things that have transcended, cause and effect, gently fall through the tomb of Sui like snow. The proxy looks through each and every snowflake, seeing a game that leads to his death in all of them.
Enough.
Finally. You finally wish to put down that ridiculous game and bear steel against me?
Haha.
Yes, good. This shall be my last bit of sport before I wake.
Finally. The one who chose white, my reflection in the mirror, its nightmare. How difficult is it to meet with you?
Punch him. Capping the Sui. Oh, this will be satisfying, very, very satisfying. I hope. Oops.
The Prussian pillars, interlocking devices jointly built by the Tianchi bureaus and the Sui regulator. Activate them in the north, south, east, and west regions, then defeat all enemies within each region, thereby weakening the abilities of the different parts of Sui. Keep an eye on the time limit. When the countdown ends, Sui will break through the seal and join the battle. If you're prepared, you can activate the central suppression pillar, removing the seal so you can face Sui. When the seal is broken, all deployed operators will be forcibly retreated and their redeployment time reset.
What?
Sui is extremely powerful, so you must use the suppression pillars to weaken it first.
Okay. So... I should be using all these pillars first thing. Eh? What is this? I don't think I like this. Okay, just gonna slowly wait to redeploy someone. I'm gonna take my time. Oh gosh. Wait. I don't like that. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay. Thank goodness for a quick deployment. Wait, get back. Oi. Give me back. Yeah, it's fine. Ready. Countdown time though. Oops. Actually, might be okay. Here, ability time. Oh shoot. Wait, almost there. Retreat. Next one. You know, make it less fast. Lower's better in this case, actually. Ooh, that's gonna be the worst. Oh, I hate that. I hate that with a burning passion.
お星様にあんたたちの悲鳴を聞かせてやるわ。
I can put her down too.
そんなにコソコソしなくていいよ。みんなに秘密がバレちゃえば。
Ew.
あんたたちって世界を半分ほ超あの時期終焉だけど、君たちは
Okay, that was easy enough.
待ってるのかな。
Hop. Lower again. Thank you, Stewie. Being a pain in the behind. Actually, from here might be okay.
レンズ
Oh.
ようやく私の出番か。
Yeah, that is annoying. That is super
よ
annoying.
うこそ皆さんをお助けする。ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。
From here might be fine, though. He'll not be the same as he saw in the Garden of Retrosperies. Oh. Maybe he won't be as scary then in that case.
ドキドキする距離を合わせて。指定の位置に向かう。
Thank you, Susie. Oh, that was just a half awakened Susie. Oh no. Okay, more of them. Go bonk.
指示を待つ。ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。
Thank you, fish.
一番
Hell
や
nah.
遺言の伝達。断る。
Go get her.
指定の位置に向かう。
Okay, please be the end of that. And then last one. Oh! Ah. Ah, that's what he'd be like. Well, that's gonna be interesting.
みんな、
Okay.
出てきたよ。
Don't wanna hurt my Susie. I know my Susie, my Myrtle in this case. I didn't bring up Susie yet. Okay, there's hope in the world though.
アーツユニット。チャージ
For now, over here.
今こそ皆さんをお助けする時です。大声
Okay,
だ。
another healer's always gonna be good. Yay for healing. Oh my goodness, imagine being healthy. Being healthy is so
怖くは
nice.
ないわ。
I'm on this side, because why not?
そんなにコソコソしなくて。
Go get him.
早く離れてください。お願いします。みんなよ。
Can you get everything, please?
僕らを治療も手強くや確かに。これで静かになってくる。本気で行くよ。
Oh no, it's all disaster.
準備が整った。
Sheesh. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna keep it too fast right now. Just in case. Gosh darn it.
時間をかけるつもりはない。
So he's like not, please. And this isn't even the final stage.
見なさい。あんたたちカスどもにどんな芸があるか見
Sheesh.
てやるわ。
Huh, 13 out of 29. Well, at least no one went through. You faced through with no weakened state to see what happened. Ooh! Urk.
Pathetic. Just as I expected, the exact same ending once again. You're not bad entertainment by my standards, but let us end it here. I must also thank you for this grand gift you've given me. With your strength, I shall be able to fully awaken and devour the power of you 12 whole. The strength you've gathered over the past 1,000 years shall be my nutrient, and I shall become strong, far, far stronger than I was 1,000 years ago. I shall become a true god. I shall rule over this land and lead all those weak insects in it in breaking through the curtain, separating us from the stars, stepping over the ultimate darkness. With your combined strength, I shall see and obtain that future. And you, as a part of me, may use my eyes to see it. Foolish dreamer. Why resist? You'll be like that consciousness you call a younger sister, returning to where you should be, returning to the primal chaos you came from. The dream you 12 have been stubbornly chasing after shall be realized within the chaos. No need for hellish preparations, no need for wasteful schemes, no need for fragile freedom. You'll be me, you'll be us.
A great illogical terror intrudes upon the proxy's mind. His heartbeat quickens as cold sweat drips down his brow. His body dearly wishes to leap away, but he cannot even swivel his eyeballs. A blessing. Split consciousness returning to the whole would be the cruelest of blessings.
Abandon your desire for hardship, abandon your worthless obsessions, abandon those duties you bear, abandon those clumsy emotions you learn from wretched humanity. Abandon that which consumes you, embrace that which nourishes you. Suffering must be eliminated. You should become a keepsake within my great consciousness, a futile, irrespectable mental of the past.
Suffering eliminated? Pain seeps down from his skin to his marrow, terror spreads across his body from his backbone. What the proxy can see slowly begins to blur.
Close your eyes.
Yes, close them. You do not need your own, for my eyes are your eyes. No need to hesitate. Have you not thought about this from the very beginning? The mortal realm does not seem as interesting as your siblings said it was. Flip the board!
Humph. Why is the rebellious heart of yours so hard to tame? No matter, simply yet another tangled consciousness to slowly digest. From this 1,000-year-long dream.
To digest, he's gonna get a massive tummy ache.
I shall finally awaken. No. No!
It thought I'd crushed the shard of consciousness, but it does not sense its scattered strength from 120 years ago flow back into its body.
What does this mean? Why am I still in a dream?
Joke's on you, Stewie. The poet lifts the wine cup in her hand, but not to offer it to the heavens, but rather to pour it upon the ground. The wine falls, splashing across the yellow soil, becoming a drifting cloud of dust. Near winter and a summer since we parted in Changshu. Ever since, I'd no time to dream of you. For the lands of man are many things worth dreaming of more. As for you, using dream, using imagination, using things yet to pass to reveal. Verily, you and he are evenly matched, on par with one another. But I seem to see amidst your bout many of my tales in place. You could see a gulper of cups become now a sorrowful drunk. The poems of others are fine, but at such a juncture, your style should not do. I should help you change a line. How about, after rain's end, petals fall beyond count. In wine's embrace, thy freedom is found. What say you, sister dearest? The words of others are fine indeed, and its flow is pleasing. But when you are the one chanting it, it flows far too free, as if you are uninvolved. You, me, Jia, Dusk. Consensus has always been out of our reach. Then why not have it be your turn to sing a song? For the me that we share. How about it? No. Still unwilling to break your vow? Jia still has not returned. However, I shall play for you. The bloody battlefield is flooded by a peaceful dream, a peaceful stream. The ripples upon the water quiver, becoming a pair of giant eyes. Even from within the water, those eyes stare at everything around it. Fierce, pained, fear-crazed eyes. Yet even so, the musician lightly plucks her strings. I love the thought of them just getting Sui extra drunk, so he's like getting extra sleepy, and then playing music for him to make him pass out even more. I can't wake up! This tune. It seems that rather than being unfond of wine, dear June, you're simply... In the middle of the river, the poet toasts alongside the tune, her cheeks flushed red. She does not chant to match the tune, but with a bright, clear voice. Yet even so, it is in perfect harmony with the tranquil music. The stars in the sky spin along to the poet and the musician, blending together into a pool of sweet water. The water appears wines, some bitter, some fragrant. Even those great eyes begin to show signs of intoxication. I invite you to share one last cup of wine. At some point, the tones that started off high and steep gradually deepened, going from near inaudible to the inescapable bass, lingering within the water. As for the simple sounds of the instruments, no longer are they quiet and mellow. It is as if only a tenth of the strings were silk, the rest 3 parts longing, 3 parts grief, and 3 parts determination. What is this peacefulness I feel? No, my war! But in contrast, the poet's recitation grows lighter, higher, as if a whisper, as if a consolation, as if a torrent of rain. Flicking it away will only serve to wet your clothes. One low, one high, one disciplined, one unrestrained. The woman's voice merges with the voice of the instrument, weaving a dream fit to entomb a Fahrenheit. I invite you to share one last cup of wine. For beyond the western pass, there are no more of mine.
You dare use such tricks against me?
The furious Fahrenheit lifts his head, attempting to discern the source of the sound, but to no avail. Its giant bloodshot eyes first flick towards the proxy, still shackled to the ground. After a moment of quiet, it finally realizes that this dream will not be so easy to break free from. It does not care if this is the last of the power of the proxy that is here, or interference from proxies far away. Those great eyes staring at the outside world watch the dream that Ling and June weave. As they watch back, within that confrontation that never happened, its actions, its moves, its weak points, even its psyche, he has seen it all. He has seen it all. Such base deception, such pointless struggles. Before I have my vengeance on Yan, I should kill you all first, one by one.
You would not have a chance. From now on, there is only our vengeance against you. Absurd. Ridiculous! Your so-called sisters may have deceived me with dreams and crunched open your shackles. But do you not feel how weak your body is, unfettered though it may be? This time, I shall crush you and your miserable schemes.
In that instant of fear and anger, its enormous body, as great as a mountain, shifts a fraction of an inch. The entire room begins to shatter into rubble. The great structure that suppressed Sui gradually crumbles and collapses. I know, right? I want y'all to join the party in time, like, please.
Save me! Save me! They're back! Those monsters from 100 years ago are back! Don't panic, don't panic. We're an orderly line and walk cautiously. Why are you listening to me? Oh, what to do, what to do? Mr. Pooh. Why are there still so many townsfolk who have not evacuated yet? There's so many Geists here. Do your hand, Tianji. They're not Geists born from the turmoil in the tomb, but rather, the original townsfolk. They are the students of the school? They are my students, yes. I cannot bear to see them lose their lives here, so I beg you to, lend me your aid. The old Tianji is still guarding the mountain pass. I'm afraid I cannot protect them all on my own. I shall do my best to hold back the rebellious Geists, Yun Qingping, from Mr. Pooh in guiding everyone away. Surely you don't need to do it alone, Deputy Minister Lid.
Wow, look who came down. Hi, Yi.
It's long past the garden's closing hours. Why there's still so many tourists here? Mr. Yi? You still remember me? And here I was worried that you would forget me, but with you running circles around about my garden. No need for further chatter. You're all lovers of things, which makes us kindred spirits. You two help this elderly gentleman see everyone out. I can deal with the things here myself. I know you proxies have extraordinary talent or abilities, Mr. Yi, but these are extraordinary times. I ask that you take care. No need to worry. If I cannot subdue even these apparitions, then I'm not fit to be the master of the guard grotesqueries. If I may, by the way, a request from my humble, record-keeping friend? Though you have come from afar, I regret to say that I have no time to be a proper host. If you ever have some spare time in the future, I ask that you come again. But if fate is against me, against us, and you're the last visitors of my garden, I would like you to preserve its sights with your brush and ink. I shall do my utmost. Please stay safe, sir.
I like how everyone's just giving the same job. Please record. Smiles and nods. So good job, Brother Yi.
My, the shaking is far too strong, as well as this resentment. Even though only a fraction of its millennium of hatred and rage has built out here, it still has such strength. I do not imagine what exactly Wang is confronting down there. But even having come to this point, it is still not yet awake, which means our designs with the garden are still in effect. It's a shame though, I fear the structures within the tomb are almost completely destroyed. I suppose I shall have to put a bit more effort into suppressing it then. You really know how to cause quite the stir, Wang. These guys are, in the end, formed from your fury. I have no desire to entertain such vulgar creations, nor am I interested in collecting them. All I can say is that they will be a little hard to handle.
The proxy looks up towards the once peaceful town at the front of the mountain, now devastated and in ruins.
Even a layabout this has times when he is angered. I cannot forgive such destruction. Now, how much of this account shall be considered yours, Wang?
Like, Brother Wang, now you owe me some cleanup. You gotta do some community service after you're done with this.
I shall make it whole for him. Reluctantly, I might add.
G? Wow, look at you, G, helping out Yi. How nice.
Wang chased me away, so with nowhere else to go, I came to help you. Seriously? It does not really matter. I suppose I shall owe you a great deal if you were to help me with this big mess today. Since when have you been concerned about what you owe me? Why, I would never. It is simply because you are so magnanimous, our third eldest brother, that you find it embarrassing to settle accounts with your younger siblings. Humph. Shall I help you suppress Sui, or have you look after Mongshan Town? First, we deal with the Geist and protect the town. We still have time to suppress it. There are two of us after all. With enough speed, neither issue needs to wait. Rather greedy of you, no? Probably the first time you see my greed. True, if I had not dropped by today, all those exotic plants, fine woods, and strange stones you so painstakingly gathered would be ruined, which would be quite the pity. Well, I need only come back to ask you for more later.
Feel the pink flames join the spreading golden threads, clearing away the murky black ice. Good job. What a pain, we just got here, and all these things popped out of nowhere. There's no end to them either. They just keep coming like Misua. It's been soaking for too long. Best hide somewhere behind me, Grand Tutor. I'm not too good at fighting, nearly whacked you a few times there. It's a half-baked plan, but all I can do is that. So talking about food, kid. I've added a little something to your pot of half-baked swollen misua. No need to thank me. Let's see, sisters number 1 and 2, the kiddo. Who else? No big deal if Ado doesn't show up. What about G? We've got a little something for him too. Forget it. Heed me. Dark Devastator. Quantum Firecracker, Quantum Launcher, Quantum Rumbler, Quantum Cannon. Lock onto 30 meters around the kid and... Fire at will! Fire everything! Fire! Fire! Shut up already! What the hell even is this stupid Dark Devastator thing? Shu and I only agreed to help you because you promised you wouldn't make these weird things again. You made it pretty much the same way as the 12 pagodas and 5 cities. This is war after all, and all is fair in it. The Weishi failure loves saying shit like that. Who exactly are you declaring war on by aiming that stuff at me? Get her under control, Shu. This really isn't what you promised earlier. Once this is all over, don't forget to make an apology. Sorry. These firecrackers really do remind me of Dahuang though. They're subdued during the Shenong festival. When the New Year arrives, the firecrackers they light up might be even fiercer than the ones Nyan just used. Right? A family reunion should be more lively. If you'd fired that barrage earlier, it would have fallen at Yu's feet. Take a break and let Dusk play with it. He's been waiting for a while now. Me? I don't want such a thing. So should I continue? Give it to me. If I let you keep firing that stuff, you're going to burst everyone's eardrums. The chaotic sisters. Ju! Nyan and Dusk, you're finally here. Long time no see, kiddo. Dinner ready yet? We aren't done with work yet, Nyan. How could you only be thinking of Yu's cooking? One's not gonna affect the other. Oh right, we never did give them a heads up that we'd be meeting here. Hey, Grand Tutor, it should be fine, right?
Extraordinary times calls for extraordinary measures. If you're able to resolve this Geist crisis together, then that should be an act of great merit.
I always knew you weren't that dried up stick in the mud you look like. Hey, Grand Tutor, do you think our business with Yan has been a good one?
Perhaps it would not only be considered business in Yan's eyes. Making a friend is far more important than doing business.
Ha! Those are some wise words. Next time those old fogies from the Ministry of Works come to pester me, I can throw them in their face. Everyone who should be here is here. Let's take a head count of the ones who aren't here yet. Cloud. Whoa, is this Yan's New Year celebration? This is just like how Master said they celebrate it. Lanterns, banners, and screaming firecrackers. I don't see any lanterns. This is the first time I've seen this many firecrackers though. Alright, time to land. Watch out, Yan! Someone just flew over my head. I think they're going to land right next to you. Who the hell are you? Based on your gear, I'm guessing you're... Nihao. That's so random. Nihao, I'm Taxakum. I'm Sargon. I'm an apprentice under my master. But I usually just drive the cart. Oh wait, my master's called Feng. You're gonna be number 10. Man, I didn't expect a shy guy like him to have a cheery apprentice like you. I'm Nyan, the 9th, which means I'm his older sister. Let's give you a quick rundown. Those two chatting over there are Shu, the 6th, and our youngest brother Yu. The one on top of the Dark Devastator, splashing ink everywhere, trying to melt away the Geist. That's our youngest sister Dusk. G and E, the 7th and 8th, are probably by that mountain over there, while our big sister Ling and second sister June went off to nap who knows where after some drinks. Then under her feet, there's number 2, Wangs. Strictly speaking, today's party is all on him. Wait a sec, got to introducing the family. If you're here, where's the big 1-0? It's not that my master didn't return, he's just, he asked me to give you this. He's being shy. A steel yard scale? I wonder what he's doing right now in Sargon, if he's still there.
Target Fernwood. About to arrive at critical position. It's still moving forward. No time to wait for reinforcements from other cities. We attack the moment it takes its next step. We beat them once 1,000 years ago, so no excuses.
The ancient titan lurches forward, powered by the confusion and anger of arousing from age-old slumber. I know, right? It's like, how dare you not come during it's your brother Yu's family dinner? It suddenly notices by its hind claw a minuscule, near imperceptible existence.
Don't go any further. Turn back.
Doubtful rumble.
I know. The Weichi player summoned you. I don't want to speak ill of my elder brother. He might not have been thinking of exploiting you for no reason or throwing your lives away.
Oh, elder brother, huh? Number 10, is this you? Disdainful snort.
You're heavily wounded. I may have ways to heal you. If you insist on continuing forward, I also have ways to make you feel pain. 100-fold, 1,000-fold, but I would really rather not. Turn back. I can heal your wounds and help you find a new home. Never mind. Just don't cause any more death and destruction.
Or maybe it is. The master gave me the scale and told me to deliver it to you quick. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's still where he was earlier, looking this way. Got it. He's still too scared to come. Scared that this meeting would be the last. But he still wants to help us out a bit. And that Weichi failure. So in the end, he decided to be real awkward and send you over while he waits on some mountaintop somewhere. Wow, he's too afraid of speaking to his family. He pulled a Wei and Wu in that case. Man, our family can be such a pain in the ass. On the other hand, I didn't think dried up old tenor would learn some proper bedside manner. Did he pick up the silver tongue in your part of Sargon? Not really. Damn shame then. I'd also like to learn how to speak good better. Maybe then my next movie's funding and lead actor wouldn't jump ship halfway through. What the? There's still people rushing over to start a war? Everyone turns their heads towards the nearby city, a city that is slowly but inexorably heading towards the gathering. Can't just stand by and watch as a bunch of jerks stir shit up. But we see how the Dark Devastator matches up against human. No, bad idea. But getting in a fight like this seems a little impolite. Leave it to me. Oh, you're that Chen Huichie. You know me? You're my supporting actress, the one I cast for that movie. Shame I wasn't able to find you afterwards, or most of the rest of the cast, so I had to delay the shoot. Do you mean the movie Lava was talking about? Little Lava told you about it? Great, we've got the money-guzzling Dark Devastator on scene, and now you're here too. You're the thing she left behind. That's why I'm here. How'd you plan on stopping that city? With my sword. It wasn't part of my original travel plans, but I've stopped by human before. I know a little bit about its structure and weak points. I heard the master swordsmen don't see things as things, but rather weak points and flaws. You one of those masters? You've been watching too many movies. There are things only you and your family can do. Likewise, I have things I can't shirk from. Believe in me, like how I believe in you all. Dang, Chen, how cool! Chen Huichie turns to face the nomadic city rumbling towards her. She can see the weaponry lining the walls, the soldiers atop the observation posts, and the Tianchis with their furrowed brows. She believes they can see her too, but simply standing here will not be enough. Nian, give Chen a leading actress role. She takes a step back. She looks at the entirety of the city structure. Its treads, the wind aegis, the sand sluices, the watchtowers, the gates. She knows where this blow should fall. A sword of heaven's plaint. The dawn is cast. The writing knife in her hand is not pointed at any one part of human, but rather up towards the sky. The knife becomes a long sword, becomes a heart-pounding golden light, and then finally becomes a sandstorm that engulfs human. Ooh.
Sand? Has Sui already woken up? Look alive, everyone. No, wait. This is...
The storm that swallowed up heaven and earth is not made of coarse sand, but rather gentle golden snowflakes. They fall into the soldiers' bodies, their hands, their faces. The snowflakes melt, and out of nowhere, they hear the beating of a drum. Those memories, near buried away by sand, suddenly become crystal clear. They remember catastrophe and those who stood within it. A poet who drank wine and spouted poetry in its face, or maybe someone who made a lovely exit. A lonely exit once everything was done. They remember the emotions that surged through their minds back then. They worked as one, they fought as one, and for a moment, they forget the confusion and puzzlement pressing down on them as one. They stop whatever they're doing, sadly listening to the pounding of the drum. They count the number of beats, count all the calamities human faced across the years, big and small. Until the 18 rousing farewell boom resounds, the entire weather-beaten city is like an old man overwhelmed by memory. One who slows to a crawl, then stops. Aiziole.
Huff. At this rate, I won't make it in time to the last few emplacements. Where we stopped? Don't tell me the artillery are ready. A power cut?
spent candleholder realizes he has stumbled upon a stroke of luck. Even a near-instant cut of in power will require many short but essential checks on the cannons before they can re-engage, despite the automatic switch to reserve energy stores. It has bought him precious time.
Why would there be a power cut now? Surely it's not the proxies and human.
A strong wave of emotion sweeps memories to the surface of Zuolei's mind, but what he recalls did not take place in Yumen. It is possible that the fate of siblings will lie in your hands, Lord Zuo. Be able to chat with you on this festive day, even but for a moment, is destiny at work. I hope that in the future you can see me as a man you can discuss things with. Doubt and suspicion he felt at the time have now become sort of illogical post-realization incisiveness, though he knows there are still many things he is confused about. Jannie alters history and consciousness. Ooh! And you master that ability? No, I just think the sword and it does some things. As one does. But he soon pushes down that sense of relief, that sense that makes him relax, even feel exhausted.
It's not only about the fate of your family, there's also my family, Yumen, Baizhao, Olivian. Why am I thinking about this now of all times? This fateful decision is not over yet.
He forcibly tamps down the wellspring of emotion flooding his heart. His hate-to-lose attitude pushes him forward, hastily winding his way to the last few emplacements. Sky. The golden sands that fill the sky gradually disperse. The radiance fades, turning the blade in Chen's hand back into an ordinary writing knife. To the side, Yu stoops down, grasping a pinch of soft golden snow-like sand. Through a daze, he looks at the golden sheen, a sheen he has not seen in over 100 years. What he remembers is the older sister he last met over a century ago. But as for what Chen sees, she sees the parting far away in the distant, frigid north. The snowflakes melt away. Those newly bright memories slowly fade again, returning to their worn and shabby state. All that remains is a sigh on the lips. Ooh, back here. Finally, here. This is the Tomb of Sui. Despite having some knowledge of it for a while now, actually seeing such an enormous structure in person leaves her shocked. With Baizhao in turmoil, all of its soldiers have been recalled to fight the geist lining its streets. Across from the door is an abyss that none dare look at. I was pretty eager to accept this mission, but how do I actually get in? He accounted for my speed and intercepted me. I didn't familiarize myself with that map very well, so she probably beat me here. So now what? Do I just knock on the door? Allow me. How polite! You are Shuo.
Long has it been since I was called by the name. Do we happen to be old acquaintances, madam?
I happen to be a friend of one of your students. And I once stole one of your things, but I already returned it. Sorry. The thing I'm talking about isn't this thing here, I meant...
I know.
You do?
I could hardly be mistaken about the scent of my siblings.
The man notes the clothes of the woman before him, and his face takes a slight turn for the serious.
Whether it be the martial disciplines or the scholarly ones, there should not be a splitting of sex. But if you wish to eliminate the prejudice in the hearts of others, then you yourself must first have a tolerant heart.
My thanks for your wisdom. The young lady carefully and deferentially hands over Jia's token.
Duoxie, madam. Delivering this drop of life to the tomb is no doubt Jun's plan. Aside from Wang, he was the closest to Jia, and she wished her here, even if only as a token. But I fear that she did not adequately explain things to you. Our family will be gathering at the barrens outside, not in the tomb itself.
What? Good thing Chongyeo is here. If not, ooh, that would have been so bad. She'd just be waiting around for nothing.
But this is still a stroke of good fortune. Before a family reunion, I shall have this life accompany me on a trip into the tomb.
Surely this isn't a piece that Ouija player is planning to use up when defeating Sui, right?
You worked so hard to bring this out into the mortal realm. How could I betray his intention by consuming it? It is simply to bring him peace of mind, nothing more.
He's like, dang, I could have just been up there. I ran all the way down here. Eternal cycle, you think yourself clever. Tell me then, why do you humans forever chase a reunion they know to be impossible?
Misaki,
Yep.
you know, another realization came to me on just how Talula's card was handed, and all it can be traced down to Wei Yin, like, us. How come you promised your best friend's daughter, Talula? You had one job, keep her safe, and even killed said best friend with his own hands to fulfill that promise due to political affairs to protect her. Just to be only kidnapped by the Black Snake, who in this may be a close enough friend, cause not being acquaintances, where that as not being acquaintances were that close to being to family, and have that family be taken right in front of your eyes.
So sad.
Talula had a shitty childhood, had a shitty years of growing up as the Black Snake's heir, then the reunion fiasco, good memories only to be solved by the Black Snake, and all of that can be avoided if Wei Yin would just only focus on being a good parental figure.
But no, because he didn't want to. Sad. Thank you, Wei and Wu. And now how bad can this be since it's 0? Look at this awesome boss fight.
Traitors. You 12, each and every one of you, plan to betray me, yes? Indeed. None of us will submit to becoming a part of you. We have lived as ourselves. This is why we are different from you. Lived as humans. You see yourselves as human and try to bring delusions very to bear against me. You rely on the power you stole from me, ingratiating yourselves with those puny insects. But you still had to humble yourselves, hide your claws and fangs to make yourselves look harmless. Is that what you mean by living as human? You still don't understand. You can never understand, for you have never lived. And I am well aware from where your arrogance stemmed. With but a glance, you can look from the beginning of time to its end. Your consciousness has traversed the great void for eons. You have never had kin you could converse with. You are simply a god declaring itself supreme over a pitiful plot of empty space.
I know full well that what this feeling was like, until the day someone gave me a name.
You are nobody's fate, not the people of this land, or we 12. And there is one thing you will never understand against someone who already has nothing to his name. Fate is utterly powerless. Very well, since you dare to repeat your foolish challenge, I do not mind shattering your delusions once more. I killed you once 120 years ago. I shall kill you again with but a flick of my wrist. Is that meant to scare me? I'm already accustomed to losing.
Are you winning, son? No, I'm losing. It's like, wait, what? It's like, huh? What do you mean?
I've already lost too many precious things. I've lost the entire board.
My dignity, my honor, my trust, my freedom, myself, my family.
Did you really think someone with nothing more to lose would be afraid? But you? Are you not afraid you will suffer another ignominious defeat, like 1,000 years ago? Is this fear not what makes you hesitate to step forward? A jest at this hour. You desire in vain to replace me, to steal away my body. Why would it allow you to do as you please? I need only stir this body awake first.
The Phi-MD extends its talons as great as mountains. Countless Phi-MDs in countless tombs extend their countless talons as great as mountains, and point them towards the same proxy. It does not matter if this is a dream, so long as that loathsome face is wiped away in all of them, there'll be nothing left to stop its awakening.
What is this?
an incomparably brutal blow slams into its body, a strength it is familiar with. It knows that in a split second, it has lost its connection with its enormous body. Who could cause such harm to its form? The space shakes, then warps and tears. As if 1,000 years worth of martial prowess has been channeled into a single strike, ripping apart the edges of the dream. Ooh! The ultimate punch! Ow, that hurt!
Why are you always so meddlesome? I knew you would say that. I also promised that, were things to arrive at this stage, I'll be with you. Besides, I also wanted to bring her to meet you, to let you know that all your years of planning were not for naught.
Through the boundary between dream and reality, Wang sees a token Chung Yue clutches to his bosom, and then their eyes meet.
You should leave. Live. Live and come back to us. I will not make you any promises.
The distance between them stretches with speed. Even though he is a grandmaster of Kung Fu, 1,000 years old, a human body is still only a human body. The force piercing the veil between truth and fiction quickly dissipates, but the voice of that Brother Wang is so fed up with still reaches his ears.
Then I will look for you. I always will. To yourself. What did he do?
He punched you. He punched you real good.
But it does not matter. It does not matter. No matter what he did, it was only for an instant. An instant! No longer shall he disturb us, nor will any of your ludicrous, insignificant siblings. This is my dream, with only you and I. I thought I would have to bring all of my strength to bear to defeat you, but it seems you're still weak, still liable to collapse at the slightest of breezes. You only have a single stone left. I will barely even have to lift my finger to crush you, to annihilate you. And those poems, those laws, those martial arts, the irksome pests, I need only use the strength I save for you to isolate you from those meddlesome insects. You're unfit to die by my claws. You're only fit to be cut down by your reflection's blade. Now die! Ah, is that so? To die is your end, not mine. Yes, in all those casual chains, in all these possibilities, in all these dreams, you will die. Those countless repetitions within this dream have eroded away, followed out your most frenzied imaginings, and all without you knowing. Have you not noticed how intricately linked you and I to this dream that you used to trap me? You've been chained by your hateful, vengeful impulses. Your evolution has reached its end, and we've already surpassed you. But your body will persist. I will take your place. And how will you do that with your isolated stones, with your own body so ready to fall apart? You dare assume I only have my stones and this body of mine?
The near-dead proxy uses the last of his strength to lift his sword. The deranged Fairmont gives one last howl of rage. The cold moon splits stones, the fierce sun chars boards, ashes to ashes, a farewell to the ages. Ooh, cutscene! Go get Big Papa Sui. Oh, look at this nice assist. Great job, siblings. I like how they're all adding on to it. Go get him. Ooh, darkness. And now we fight.
Enough. This farce of a game must have an end.
Yeah, it is gonna end.
Ah, an end? Did you not once tell me that the board is endless, and that our battle is so much more than the board called Wang? I'm not the only one playing against you.
春風が雨と降った時節ね
What you have sown, I repaid. I reap for you, here.
さっさと片付けるぞ
If it isn't Wang and the Weishi failure, if you told us you needed our help, we would have shown up sooner, you know? Heh.
この時より
Here lies a dream unchained. A gift unto you of verse and wine, wind and rain.
責任は取ってもらうよ
You come from an empty
食べきれ
stomach,
なか
Wang.
った分はちゃんと持って帰れってことさ
Feed.
この戦場を書くには発木が似合うわね
I like this. All the siblings are showing up. Star-shod snow, crude mounts, almost risen.
うちの妹も含めどれほどの軍人が戦場に身を
In this final battle, we are here together.
名分を生み出せたかこれもまた良き出会いと言えるだろう
How nice.
They've all found their own paths. Each and every one of them has triumphed over you, leaving you in the dust. Do you still believe you have the upper hand? How can this be? How can this be? I, with split stones and can be and a burnt board, shall send you off to your final journey. No, it's not yet over. There's still a chance.
Sure.
Rely upon your transcendence, your own paths. You're simply the power that they've stolen from me, and your candle grows dim. My candle grows dim, as does yours. You've squandered your memories. Now upon this faraway board, we're all equally insignificant.
Sucks as luck, Dad.
What? You dare? You cannot! We no longer need you. The people of this land no longer need you. Even the evolution and the future upon which you fixate no longer need you. And when your opponent no longer needs you, your fate is sealed.
Rip. Great job. Memories from the time immemorial pour down like a torrential rain, washing away its enormous, empty consciousness. The remnant consciousness slips and slides about the land of dreams, trying to find a single scrap of something, anything, to use as its foundation. But those dreams are now as blank as unscribed bamboo slips, with only the grain of the wood to provide texture. It should be people and events written upon them, yet such things cannot be grasped.
It is lost. Without a doubt. You wish to see its body take its place. But what of your siblings? They will not see me again, nor will they come to fill the void you have left behind. That said, I will not disappear. I shall always be with you.
Thanks, Dad. Wow, how nice of you.
No matter who sits upon the corporeal throne, a void shall form. Since you have no intention of filling it, I shall haunt this place eternally. To torment the master of this body, to usurp its will, to torment its mind, but two sides of the same Hongbao. There will be something to fill your vacancy. All that is left of you now is emotion, abundant emotion, but that matters not in the face of this shattered consciousness. If it did matter, its rage would have filled it long ago. Ah, there will not be a worry. The one replacing you shall be far more terrifying than you have ever been.
The proxy steps forward, leaving the white creation behind him. The ferryman above, about to drown its own hollow mind, lets out a bitter cry. Soon even that cries filled with pain and defiance dies down, leaving only an echo reverberating throughout the room. Murky dying gasp.
You're about to die. I'm going to die? Who am I? Why will I die? You're the most arrogant of dreamers. In your dreams, you pushed evolution to the endless sea of stars. But this egotistical evolution was cut short by humanity. That humanity you saw was nothing. And then your anger, your hatred, and your defiance dragged you to your grave. But at the very end of it all, you died by my hand. You
Murky dying gasp.
You will destroy the future? That future of evolution that escapes ruination. Through endless and through infinite expansion, touches the face of the void? It was a dream you would never have been able to see to fruition. Evolution will not stop because of your death. Your passing will simply be released for the will that has suffered for 1,000 years. If you truly yearn for that future where the stars shine only for you.
He lifts up the last of his stones in his hand. They slowly lose their forms, turning into a blade. It looks on as he lifts up the last of his stones, throws them up into the sky, up towards the boundless heavens. He takes the last of this congealed sharpness and thrusts it into its eye. It watches as those black stones become a galaxy that flows towards it until the bestial Sui closes its eyes. The bestial Sui espies a future that exists only in its dreams.
May you dream well.
The entire room begins to shake before ultimately collapsing. The forms of Proxy and Fairmont slowly merge together, no longer shall they be parted. Here, a new Sui is born. Happy birthday! Hello, hello! Imagine being in Sui shoes. You forget that your current amnesia self-asking, what is happening to me? Then the man comes in saying, just say, you're dead as hell. It's like, oh, okay. Still hanging in their shoe. This is no big deal, it's just the handling this many of its minions takes its toll. Hey Dusk, farther away. Or that way. There's a ton of geist there. Where? Where I'm pointing. There's nothing there. Are you stupid? There's... Yan is stupefied. There really is nothing there. And not just there, it is as though someone has sneakily wiped away the blot of ink staining the ground. The rampaging geist of just a moment ago are nowhere to be seen. They just went poof.
Whoa, you nearly chopped me in half. I'm obviously trying to chop that thing in half. Huh? Where'd the monster go?
Imagine having an awesome fight and then all of a sudden your enemy just goes poof. Huh? What? dot dot dot.
Understood. The Sui regulator reports that all the script guys have disappeared. We won? Don't let your guard down. An earthquake? It stirs. All hands move to an open space.
The shaking from afar arrives.
The time has come.
The True Long grasps the jade seal used to start the device. It might just be his imagination running wild, but he feels a connection between the machine and the blood running through his veins. During this moment of hesitation, a great shadow appears before him, nearly covering the entirety of the Originium's radiance. Enormous shadow.
Are you it?
The shadow utters what seems to be a threatening low roar. Within that roar, the True Long hears a haggard voice, one he heard decades ago.
No, you are no longer it. But how many of its memories and dreams, its thoughts and feelings have you inherited? Will you be of aid to Yan in the future, or you bring only misfortune? Are you he or an all-new Sui? Its pale memories, withered dreams, exhausted thoughts, befouled feelings, they are all roil and jostle through my consciousness at this very moment. But you are correct. Sui is dead.
The shadow lets out a long howl that shakes both the heaven and earth.
But what you, your ancestors, your nation owe it is also what you owe me and mine. Those arts winding their way through your body are proof of your ancestors shackled us for 1,000 years. Though these memories be faded, these dreams be wilted, these thoughts be decayed, these feelings be rotted away, this rage of 1,000 years still burns bright as the sun. But you are not him. If your hatred has not been diminished, then make your move. You wish to use this place, this piece of originium, to take me down with you? It shall be my final act of service to Great Yan. If you are new Sui, I shall rid my country of you, even if it costs me my life. If you are Wang, then my promise to you stands. Your life shall be spared, and you will be pardoned for deceiving the crown. And now for regicide. I shall also pardon myself for the crime of unclarity of thought, which led to suspicion between parent and child, the scattering of kin, the formation of factions, and unrest that rocked the nation. Do you truly seek death? If it can begin a new chapter in the history of Great Yan, why would I deny you my life?
Very well, as you wish. Did you believe all our grudges settled? You're finally here. Wow! Took long enough. We finally meet. Hey, you are no longer it? Imagine being a hater for thousands of years and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm late to the party. Ah, well,
It was slain by my hand. You're too late. You actually did it. The ridiculous plan of yours actually worked? Very well. If you take in its place, then you shall bear my rage.
the ancient colossus remains quiet, slowly watching the near-dead kin.
What is this? Are you pitying me?
Like, how dare you not fight back? Up until the end of this endless journey, the millennium of hatred burned bright in Ya's chest, unwavering for even a moment. So why now, when Ya sees Sui for herself, does the hate seem to fade away, leaving only nothingness? Because it's not really him.
Why are you so unconcerned? Were you hoping that I would grant you release?
Wang's like, joke's on you, I'm into this.
No, I will not kill you.
The sword in her hand hesitates. What would come from enacting this vengeance? A bloody end for the both of them? Why take up arms? Why betray them? She finally realizes that with the death of Sui's consciousness, those answers she had searched for are no longer in reach.
But how could I ever forgive you? This is your own fault. You should have arrived sooner. You should have witnessed its death, or maybe you should have contributed to that, to quell your deadly grudge.
Brother Wang.
But there's still something you can do, late though you are. Originium? This was all a part of your schemes? You went through all that trouble to collude with that ancient lunatic to lead me here. Just want me to connect this room with that ugly stone? The choice is still yours. Choose vengeance, and you can do what you have dreamed of countless times. Take that ugly stone and give this vessel an eternity of torment. Or since you are about to die anyway, why not simply leave?
You! The fairy mutt, so close to its limit, is about to thrust its sword into the boundless body of Sui. Its sword, so mighty against humanity, yet all too weak against its kin. But the moment before Ya does so, that anger, burning for 1,000 years, finally slips away. In her reverie, Ya looks closely at the Sui that is no longer Sui, and then Ya howls with laughter. The enormous vessel remains silent.
I do not know why you're so adamant on being tortured, or why you wish to bring this cursed originium into your body. All I know is that is what you want. You want to take this festering, swelling ancient wound and have it thrust into you. Very well, I will humor you. For you are not Sui, but Wang, the Sui Slayer, and so I shall help you. I shall help you repay its sins over endless time. But in a vessel such as this,
Even the strongest of spirits will be worn away with and assimilated, ultimately becoming just like it. When the time comes, I shall return, and I shall have my vengeance by slaying you with my own 2 hands. But as for now, I do not wish to hear you prattle on about explanations and the like. I do not wish to hear you squabble with those insects. All I want to do to this body is have my unprecedented vengeance. One was fitting for we souls who have walked since the beginning. Cutting away the seasons is not a power without a price, especially for a Fahrenheit on the brink of death, meddling with the most primal force of this land. But Yah still does it anyway. The piece of originium, alongside the space that it occupies, is cut away from Yah, then ruthlessly thrusts into the depths of Sui's body. And then all she sees is black. Yah has already forgotten her 2 kin she had trapped within illusion. With the fading of the last of her strength, they break free. Now they watch her body slowly wither away, their faces lined with sorrow.
Oh my, an earthquake just as we have escaped those fiends? Over here, Tianjilin! There's still people here.
Coming. Lin Qingyan rushes over, dragging several bewildered geists out of the collapsing building, but the tremors get stronger, sending a falling roof beam straight to Mr. Pooh's head. Duck you, oh, brain!
Thank you for saving me, oh brave hero!
Zushi! Yo, everyone's still alive? Not bad. Alright, everyone's safe, and the earthquake's over. Get everything tidied up, then head back.
The chaos... Is the chaos finally over?
The childlike Tianxi narrows her eyes. Looking out towards the tomb of Sui, she has a rare, somber expression on her face, a far cry from her usual cynicism. This was your choice, you Weiqi failure, your calculation. You must have foreseen what kind of disaster this piece of originium would bring with it to think of a solution like this. It means nobody's gonna dare mess with you, but you might as well be damning yourself to eternal hell this way. You chose a bitter end, a bitter road to follow. I don't know if this counts as me helping you or hurting you. Plotting a great windfall for all beings in this realm, you actually did it. This scheme of yours, Weiqi failure. Everyone's just gonna keep on calling him Weiqi failure. It's his new name. The enormous shadow, the crazed woman, the originium's orange glare, everything began to fade from the true Lung's sight. He finally understand what the proxy's ultimate plan was, Fernmut's originium. At the cost of near eternal torment, Wang ascended the seat of Sui and accepted Ya's vengeance. But Bufan, or rather, the first originium Yan had relied upon since the days of yore, is now buried within the deepest pits of the Fernmut's body and soul. But with the disappearance of the energy it supplied, the secret chamber gradually begins to collapse. The true Lung walks towards the exit and pulls upon its doors, only to discover they have been jammed shut by rubble. But he does not panic. He feels that to die here is not such a bad thing.
Qishao.
For a moment, the true Lung believes himself to be hallucinating, for the one supporting him by the shoulder has an uncanny resemblance to his older brother.
Yan Wu? Don't speak, follow me.
Like the room behind it, the blood-red hidden passage begins to crumble away in the wake of Bufan's disappearance. The true Lung leans against Wei Yanwu's shoulder, doing his best to match his pace. He still feels like this is all a dying dream, a meeting with his estranged brother that his feeble consciousness conjured up. He tries to think back to his younger days when he made mischief with his brother as they ran through the hallways of the palace. What season was it? Was it autumn? No, it was not that cold, so it must have been... It has been too long. He no longer remembers it clearly. The prolonged earthquake finally stops. The panicking court mandarins look at each other, unsure what is to come next. At least, until a familiar face unhurriedly walks in. You may all rest easy. Supervisor, do you mean to say the Sui menace has been thoroughly resolved? I ask you all to return to your posts. The chaos is over, but there's still many things in Baizhou that require attention. The Imperial Guards standing behind her add a little gravitas to her declaration. After some hesitation, the Mandarins tidy their clothes and hats before they walk out of the doors. Once the last of them have left, Chu nods at the guards. They stand aside, but they keep their eyes locked onto her. You did it. Eliminating Sui and finding you. You both of them. The former candle holder, the current supervisor of the Sui regulator, listens to the heartbeat of the Fahrenmut. It is the rage that enormous creature felt against itself, but there's a gentle breath accompanying that pulse. From within, she hears something not of that consciousness, or away from that vessel, gathered somewhere within Baizao, and it speaks of forgiveness. How nice. Within the Grand Palace, there is now only a single withered old man. Ever since the Chulung descended underground, he's waited here, listening to the reports from Yumen, the uproar in Baizao, and the declaration from the Sui regulator to the entire city that all is now well. His coughing has only grown more violent, his waist more stooped. By the time of the declaration, he can no longer support himself. He is forced to sit on the ground, leaning against the throne. At first, he felt anger, then worry, but now he only feels exhaustion. Memories from the near 100 years ago, when he was instated by the current Chulung's father, forced themselves to the surface. It was midwinter when the snow swirled through the air. The then Chulung was still far from being aidled. Happy to sit down in the fireplace. Happy to sit about the fireplace with the newly promoted Mandarin and discuss all great things happening under heaven. Conflict between Laterano and Iberia, the war between Colombia and Victoria, Ursus's desire for conquest, the turmoil in Higashi, the mysterious weapons of Kazdel, and Sui. As he was not excised the first time, the Chulung was resolute in having the second attempt come with no mistakes. Yan would attain the bones of Sui with near double amount of energy, and it eliminated. The age of Yan will have arrived. The talks became so fervent, the Emperor stood up and struck out barefoot into the snow, using his finger to brandish Qi Shao as he spoke of what grand ambitions he had for Yan's future. We both are exalted to distant thought, aspiring to sky and bright moon. And then... yeah, the mysterious weapons, eh? And then he could no longer wait for the day that the Chulung would blow the horn to call for Sui's eradication. He could only wait for the Chulung's mind to deteriorate until all had abandoned him. And then you also could not wait for the current Chulung's return. You could not prove to him that all you've done was not for your own selfish reasons, but for the future of Yan. Through his murky eyes, the old man believes the one standing before him can only be the Emperor he's waited for so long, but the voices ringing in his ears Hatch says anyway. Otherwise, the entire court knows your code is merely a pretext. The lingering illness that has plagued you for years could hardly be passed off as a simple chill. It is how we all know that your ironclad desire to eliminate Sui was not an idea you had on your own. You once held great esteem and approval, but now the dust has settled. Those who followed you. The old man can no longer hear. His throat shudders. All he wants to do is speak those words pent up in his heart. Look here! The doddering fool who started this chaos stands here, awaiting your majesty's judgment. Your words will not be heard by anyone. Before you can shout these words at his liege like an unfortunate misunderstood hero, life itself no longer wishes to remain within the way it's worded. Life's like, nah, man, you messed up. You messed up real bad. Bruh. He is dead. Well, rip to him. Wow, this place sure has changed a lot. Finally, tearing down this eyesore of a tomb had the same idea 5 centuries ago. Can't believe you're in the mood to talk about that. We still don't know what it's like inside. What's obvious, isn't it? We're alive, which means he's not dead. Wang, he definitely succeeded. I heard upon the wind that brother eldest already entered. It would not be long before he drags him out. If you ought to ask him then. He kept many things hidden from us. He cannot escape from his sentence. Damn, June, still strict as ever. Speaking of, I can't be the only one who's thinking. We've never had a family gathering this big before. It was a bit strange having so many of us in one place. Agreed. If you're going to eat together, then I'll be heading back. Nuh-uh! We all agreed to a reunion dinner. Mian, Dusk, don't even think about running away. Alright. Can't exactly say no to my baby brother's cooking. Say my name with respect first. Pulls a face.
How happy am I to see you all, Helen Hardy.
God damn, you two are covered in dirt. Ah, well, as long as you're alive. Which reminds me, last time a certain someone was acting all cool and determined, and look, he's doing perfectly fine. Ow, why are you pinching me, Shu?
Sister,
You returned.
my apologies for worrying you.
Humph. Those two inside should have been out by now, right? Look over there. You finally emerge, Dage. Wang, is he? What the? Changyu looks towards his siblings. They see the mirthless look upon his face, and they know it to be an ill omen. He restrains himself from letting out a sigh that would be tantamount to a declaration. He's like, Brother Wang kicked me out. We had to fight again. And ooh, ending. Yeah, he can probably create a proxy bot of himself like Sui did. Which is why Kyungyu is like, we had to fight again. He kicked me out of the tomb. Unfailing Chronicle. Oh.
Wang succeeded on replacing Sui as the home. And stuck on having Ya as his company until she is satisfied with her vengeance.
I love it though, like she comes right after everything's all done.
Yeah. After all that ruckus, all that effort, at least if she come early she would have the satisfaction of it.
Gosh darn it, girl, like what happened? What took you so long? You had all this time, but no.
Yeah. For me, I like Wang's story is one quite of defiance. One could say everything that he did was for family. But I think he could also say while he was the one who cared the most on their shared fate, he was also the most afraid of it the most. And that fear comes that their lives would be devoid of meaning. And after the death of Jie, that feeling only became stronger, more determined to cut these shackles.
I do love how everyone came together though in the end. Though we still can't see number 10.
Yeah, at the end of it, he actually did it and making sure that things would stay permanent with the help of the Bafu, Originium, and Ya, with her vengeance filling up the void in that shattered, fragmented vessel. Even the void that Sui was banking on to have his re-emergence. But no, Ya has that covered. I imagine since they still needed the whole itself to exist for them all to exist. That's why he had the plan to replace Sui as the new whole. I imagine the vessel would be akin to hibernation. There would be no need to worry about their existence suddenly being erased one day anymore.
It'll be fine at this point.
So I guess we can only hope for GS afterlife would be one of much more fortunate circumstances. Like in that garden of Courteous goodies.
Yeah,
That
hopefully.
Bonk food.
Let's see how this ending is. The Unfurling Chronicle. Let the chronicles preserve what is true. Let 1,000 autumns be distilled into this one. Now how will this wrap up? Will Zuele give Emoji back her lock? Will Chen's cousin wake up? Yes, father didn't tell anyone when he left. No, maybe I was the only one he didn't tell. I don't know. I can barely remember anymore. Mother had just passed away at the time too. Mother, she never liked father or me. And in the end, Tal as well. Oof. I feel bad for Mom. She hates everyone. Father left much less of an impression on me compared to Mother. Once when I was confronting Wei and Wu, I said father was a weak man. My opinion still stands. Oop. But he really did try to love me and Tao. When I was young, I was scared when Wei and Wu came to our house to find Mother. They took me outside. Ever since that day, he would drown his sorrows, needing more booze every time, though he never drank in front of me. Tal didn't like him either at first. He spent a lot of time with her, even learning Victorian alongside her, though he'd never heard the language before in his life. When Mother was at her most agitated, he would tell us to go outside and face Mother's madness alone. "11:02. Thank you, Huiche. I think that is enough. And that's why Chen doesn't want to answer him even more when he's like, so how's your sister? It's like, I'm not telling you. You know, before your father married, he was not completely like this. I can see it. So now we use the writing knife to correct the mistakes in the family history you compiled? No, it's simply a family chronicle. It won't even be published. It's not worth using something as precious as a knife on it. Despite Chen Chaoqian's repeated declining, Huichie still takes the knife off her hip and presses it into Chaoqian's hand. Jie and June, I hope this knife will be able to correct the mistakes that happen when we whitewash or forget the past. Even though these errors only involve one fallen family, instead of all of Yan, I think they would still want them corrected. Alright. Chen Chaoqian fiddles with the knife, feeling its weight and balance in her hand, but she makes no move to use it. Guichie, Jie, will she really come back? Honestly, I don't know. The thing from the Garden of Grotesquerie settled itself down quite nicely in that office on the top floor. But if you're asking me if that's the Jie who walked with Yan through the centuries, I really don't know. Near an audible sigh. I do not know what had happened, but it seems some of our prior generations took this overly reliable, seemingly immortal woman for granted. So when she passed, a few weak people like me lost the pillar propping them up. It appears all that was left after the fading of that omnipotent goddess were the words of everyone else. It's true that historians should have confidence in their statements, but when that confidence loses the backing of someone who is eternally correct, it is easy to give up. Yeah, it's a good thing Chen was there instead of Wei and Wu. No, Amiya would not be able to persuade Wei and Wu to spare Tallulah. Like, simply because it's the Black Snake taking control. Nah. If that's what you're saying, you guys should invite her back when she's revived. No, on the contrary, what we should do is leave the cradle of having the right answer fed to us, and take on the prospect of making a mistake with cool heads. Chen Chaoqian uses her free hand to pick up the chronicle, throwing it onto the table. What page did it open on? Take a guess. Based on the thickness, around page 30. I would say about the same, but... She picks up the book daintily, without looking at the page number, tidies it up once more. We've made one of History's Unsolved Questions, one just for you and me. In this land, whether because nobody has witnessed them, or because too many people had witnessed them, how many of these unsolved questions do you think there are? A lot of them. Indeed, a lot of them. Personally speaking, what I want the most right now is the courage to be responsible for writing down history, even though I know such unresolved questions will never have answers. Alright, I'll leave the knife to you. Help me correct the pages I show you. It really does leave no mark. When you use it normally, it's just a crazy good eraser. Eraser? Those two women certainly entrusted this writing knife to the right person. Oh right, is Mr. Liang still with the pavilion? Where is he? Mr. Liang? He's on leave today. Then you're meeting someone else? Miss Ning, as it were. I don't mean that, Miss Ning. Mind you, I mean... Hello, Chao Qian. Is this Miss Chen Huichie? Miss Ning, I presume. Who else? Sichu wouldn't have to go through the Ministry of Rights early in the morning to ask for leave to come here. I see. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Ning Yin. I heard Chao Qian would be transferred to a research post at the Imperial Historical Cabinet in a few days, so I came over to discuss recent events with her, and also to use some treats to hear her opinions. Alongside seeing the writing knife, my colleagues at the cabinet are pulling out all the stops. They want to take advantage of the fresh winds of early winter to do some innovative research. Restaurant? What? Bonk doesn't want to come over? Come on, number 10. You know you wanna. Man. Oh gosh. Jason. Ah yes, a fraudulent, terrible asshole of a husband to Medea and other things. Yeah, there's still sides of him being remembered as a hero. And yeah, I prefer Jason to Wei and Wu 100% too. Plus, at least during Jason's animations, it's funny how they're all just attacking him. Now, if Wei and Wu was in the game, or as playable, it'd be funny if Fumizuki would come out and just like bonk him. Just every so often. What? Fang just doesn't want to come over? But the kiddo made his hot pot, not me. I didn't even throw in any weird herbs and roots. My master says there's so many sufferings and the disease across the land. He believes that in being able to avert this disaster, he's much more fortunate than the sick. But he also says he'll be in Yan for a while, so if he's ever nearby, he'll come see you. Okay, that's all. Master's rather pressed for time, so I should head off. Hold it! Yan pulls out a lunchbox, packed full of food out from somewhere. Tell him that if he doesn't eat it all, he's not allowed to slink out of Yan. Got it. No laughing, there's one for you too. This time, it's Shu offers a finely wrapped bundle. Upon hearing you were from Sargon, our eldest brother became rather interested, telling you a few things about your food. Little Yu had to make a few guesses, and he put his own personal spin on things, but he managed to make a whole bag's worth. We thought it was rather good, but when sure if it's your taste, please take it. Consider a gift to you. Oh, xie, thank you everyone! How nice! Our family never is a full set. The true value of life lies in unfettered ease. Even if you were to drag him to your savors at use for a meal, you'd find no taste in it. As for the others, young Dusk truly is tired. She is pardoned. She is a master of spinning words into wealth, but is far too soft-hearted to his own family. He wishes to idle at the garden, and since Yi is accompanying him, let him. As for our brother eldest...
Smells great. Are we late? I thought you two said you weren't coming. He said that. I said nothing of the sort. Since I was coming, I couldn't just leave him by himself at the garden, so I brought him along. Nice going. His piece of work decided to work some magic at Dahuang, and then he's been hiding from us these past few days. What's his punishment, Shu? It should not be some trifle such as scrubbing the pot and washing the plates. Then, no letting him off with an apology either. Too boring. Then how about... If you say something like, let us settle this later, it would be rather disrespectful towards everyone's kindness. Why not? You already gave me a rent holiday for savers until the year after next. Then... Put your businesses on hold for a year, take a rest, and plan your next venture as well. Man, that's true for you. Always managing to find a way to let people off easy no matter what we think of.
Letting him off easy? I haven't finished yet. Within this year, G, which you owe others and are able to repay, you must repay.
I shall keep it in mind.
Alright then everyone, take your seats. Incomprehensible mumbling. I know, I just sleep a bit longer. Young Dusk said that she wishes to sleep until next spring, June. Why force her here? She has no taste in bedrooms. I was just leaving the Skymare Pavilion when I saw her sprout out on the ground, deep asleep. I even shouted her to Novell, had no choice but to bring her here. As she spoke, the slumbering dusk splayed out across June's back, suddenly dissolves into a scroll. Didn't think my little sister knew how to work some magic too. Oof! With the unfurling of the scroll, a real dusk appears atop a boulder, seemingly sound asleep. The others also see that the thing sealing Neon's mouth shut is a talisman. None dare make a move, fearing the next mouth to be sealed would be their own. In the end, it is G who cautiously peels the talisman off Neon.
It reads, "You guys eat while I sleep. Don't wake me unless Wang comes back." Also, to Neon, no firecrackers. I'll use my talisman to seal your entire body.
Fair. Why does my family always have to cause such headaches?
But there will be a day that this table is fully seated, for sure.
Someday.
Late once again. Indeed. Far too late.
A flimsy curtain separates the two. The library is quiet, the sound of pages being turned, piercing the silence.
Do you recall how many books are collected here in the Skymare Pavilion?
And yeah, now there's all the time in the world.
No. 43 million volumes. 43 million texts. Compared to the last 1,000 years of history, these words are but a single grain of millet within a great granary. At the time, my greatest dream was to dedicate my life to complete a hydrological chart of Yan that our forebears could not. I thought I could grow old here within this pavilion. This is where I truly belong. But it would not have been what was best for Great Yan. The past is heavy, so heavy that no one can shoulder its weight, but also so heavy that no one can put it down. So much so that it should not be borne alone. If there will always be someone to bear it. You ought to hate me. I do.
Just simple, yeah, I hate you, big brother. Stupid big bro.
Are you going to say that you never hated me? I really did think that there would come a day where I should die by your hand. I even thought it was the only way things would end, were we to meet. All I wanted was to ask you was, after you left by Zhao, did you ever suspect that everything that happened was orchestrated by me to frame you? If I said I never did, would you still hate me for leaving on my own for no reason? No, never. It has been too long, so long that this question is meaningless. That year, our little sister barred my way on the road to Lungmen, not far from Baizhou. I could escape the city, but I could not escape her understanding of us. She begged me to return to the capital, believing everything could be explained. There should be no misunderstandings between brothers. In the end, she said that she would stay with me until the day I wished to return to Baizhou and clear things with you. I should not have indulged her unruliness. I should not have. I still have not yet met her daughters. They were able to grow up in safety, one of the few bright points in my life. No, I should not use the word safe. The pity is I was not able to give them even that. Your regrets are many. In truth, I cannot think of a moment in my life where I am certain I made the right decision. So I sat here waiting for someone to come judge me for my wrongdoings. Pacifying the bestial Sui of Great Yan. This single achievement grants enough merit to rival the emperor who began the hunt. But compared to him, you've the kinder heart. You're the only one who's ever brought shame to Yan. Yan Li, you can set them aside now. You should set them aside now.
What a great conversation between brothers. Annals of Yan, Volume 124, Supplement 17. Someone's tidied up these scrolls. After receiving Chao Qian's request, application being approved, Hui Qie arrives at the section of the Skyrim Pavilion not open to the public to thumb through a few tomes. She thought it would be a lot harder, honestly. But when she went to check on the case from 40 years ago, she found all the relevant texts neatly arranged on the shelf. They weren't even hidden in the back. As if someone knew she would be here. Maybe it's time. Who are you? Why are my family's library? Huh? Chen looks back and sees a girl of about 10 years of age. The girl looks back at her, timid yet curious. A lung's horns, bright red hair, and a strikingly familiar face. She does not need to ask who she is. Cousin? I'm Chen Huichie. I came to borrow some books. If you're here to read, are you also studying to become the true Lung? What? No. Dad said if you want to be a good true Lung, you need to read a lot of books here. When I go home today, the grand tutor would check my homework. Those with virtue cultivate it in their bodies, perform it in their actions, and state it in their words. By mastering the classics, achieve refinement. By remedying the ills and practicing the right way, achieve virtue. By giving honest criticism without caring for offense, achieve... the last part is... Do you want to be the true Lung? Can I not be the true Lung? Dad says it's a duty I was born with. If someone says from the bottom of their heart that they don't want to do something, then you shouldn't force them to do it. When people are forced to do things, they won't be happy, right? You're wrong. Dad said you need to do your duty. If nobody did, then the whole country would be a mess. I'm gonna go find him and have him explain it to you. If there's a chance, I'd like to meet him too. But it's getting late today. How about I send you home? Okay, but do you know where you live? I think I do. You look like you know a lot. Do you know more than the Grand Tutor? Oh, I don't dare compare myself to him. When it comes to certain questions, we have slightly different points of view. The books say the true Lung should love the people, right? That's right, but what we should know is, it's not only the true Lung who should do that. Love your mother, father, and teachers, your siblings, and your friends and companions. You have the right to love everyone, no matter who you are. Dad also said because the true Lung is the most powerful person in the country, I need to be cautious about every word and every action. It's the same with making friends, though I don't have any. Yeah, Chen, tell her to visit Rose Island. She'll have a fun time there. No, you should be allowed to make friends with people you like. Remember, taking such great authority and leaving in the hands of a single person and making them shoulder it alone, that in itself is wrong. It's not fair to most people, and it's not fair to that person either. I don't understand what you're saying. Can you stay and explain it to me more? Once you grow up, you understand. Once you grow up, maybe you can make a change. So, grow up quick. Thanks, Auntie Chen. Or Cousin Chen.
Elder.
Fantong! A bunch of Fantong! I waited in the north for nearly 400 years, and this is all the progress by Zhao's Tianqi Bureau made on Originium research? Tianqi today are utterly incompetent. Who's the head Tianqi these days? Tell him to get his ass over here.
After observing the unusual meteorological phenomenon created by Londinium shard 4 years ago, the Tianqi bureaus realized the urgency of the issue of Originium. Since then, the Tianqis have labored night and day at their research, not daring to rest for even a second. But I fear there is no nation upon this land who can achieve the rate of progress you've asked for.
All I asked for was this one simple thing. I would have preferred if you told me those youngsters are thinking up ways to slack off. That way, their hearts might not have been into doing the right thing, but at least their brains would still work. Ursus Casdell, no matter where you look, there's misfortune caused by Originium. I had hoped number 2 would be able to solve this problem once and for all, but I'm afraid time's up. There'll be people knocking on the door soon enough. Forget it. I'll move into the bureau tomorrow. I want to see just how today's young Tianqis are putting their smarts to use. Wait, forget tomorrow. I'll move in this afternoon.
That you're willing to see this through personally is a good thing, Elder. But before you move in regards to the question of Originium, We have a guest from afar whom you should meet with.
Oh? Guest A? I'm honored to meet with you, Grand Tutor of Great Yan. I represent Rhode Island and would like to express my thanks to Yan for the information they have shared. I believe in these pressing times, candid collaboration between all parties is of utmost necessity. Rhode Island will uphold the spirit of cooperation during our follow-up research and keep in close contact with Yan. First, allow me to elaborate on Rhode Island's position regarding the Originium question.
You haven't left yet, good.
So planning on taking me into custody rather than letting me go, Lord Zuo?
No, the Otianchi has already vouched for you. Filling this turmoil out the way you did, Mo Yi, was of great merit.
It feels strange hearing you be so polite. But if you're not here to arrest me, then why are you here? Give her back the lock, please. Yes!
To return this to you.
Zule carefully pulls a wooden lock out of his pocket.
Things were hectic, so I forgot to return this keepsake from your mother to you. My apologies.
Oh, this thing. When he looks at Zule, her lips quiver. As she pulls out 2 identical locks from her pocket. Wow, she was trolling! I still got plenty of these. You can keep that one.
You...
But I didn't lie to you. It really was my mother who taught me how to make them. You're about to ask me where I'm from, aren't you? I can see it in your face.
If you do not wish to say, I should not offend you by pressing the matter. I simply hope that in the future, you will not go with others again.
Still playing the preacher as ever. I've got a question of my own. What's next for the Sui regulator?
Honestly, it's a complete mess right now. When the chaos ended, the supervisor admitted responsibility and resigned. The proxy killed Sui. After merging with a piece of Originium, he fell into something resembling slumber. An unprecedented feat. The pharmacologist are studying it with all haste.
Hello. Sounds like a headache. Well, not that it matters. With you around, there's nothing to worry about that the Sui regulator making any big mistakes.
I am not as confident as you are.
As my master, the one you call the old carpenter once said, it is because of the differences between you and me that all disputes arise, no matter if they are between man and beast or man and man. Which is why he called for love between all things, for all things are brothers and sisters. Those 12 did everything they could and nearly died for it just to claw back a way for them to live. If you keep looking at them with the difference between man and beast in mind, that would be pretty cruel. And yeah, playing more Arknights. I trust you for this matter.
Duoxie.
Alright, chat time's over. I should get going.
Going where?
Where I feel like after a big event's over. Returning to my search for the Fahrenweights, trying to find any trace of that proxy, or maybe giving that rabble waving the banner of the Shanghai Zong a talking to. Not sure yet.
Until we meet again then.
The girl waves her hand, and in an instant she disappears amidst the sand-laden wind. There she goes. Yet another journey with an unknown end. It is not aimless wandering, though. It is simply a search for the uncertain, greater than a hunt for a drop in the ocean. He has walked so far, and for so long.
We will take the last of Ya's vitality and bring it to the lands beyond Yan. The 1,000-year grudge between Great Yan and the Fahrenweights is now over. I pray that this land will never see such bitter conflict again. As for your hopeful search to find Wang, Shuo, we will not be of much use, though we will dearly love to help. We may have been companions with him along the same road, but we were acquaintances at best, and we knew little of his schemes. I understand. All I humbly ask for is to please inform me if you hear news of him.
It's like, to inform me if you ever hear news of him. So I heard that he's in this place called Rhode Island. And I'm also here now. Which is so funny for Ju. Wow, odds of Sonic being added to Fortnite is closer than ever. Fortnite is so wild with all its collabs.
If we do, we shall teach you, we shall tell you post-haste, Grandmaster. But what you seek, I fear may be eternally out of reach, just as man cannot touch the face of heaven.
Nah, he's gonna just casually walk in into the cafeteria and see Wang at the table, eating there because I summoned him. Be like, what the heck? And Ju also at the same table.
This scheme of his, he considered himself friend and foe, and all the changes of the changes on the board and off, pursuing the effects of myriad actions. Such arduous feats will inevitably result in the opposite effect. If what you seek is a means to free Wang from the tomb, then you seek in vain. But what if you seek? But if what you seek is a stone in reserve, or some idle scholarly digression, heaven and earth are wide and full of many mysteries. Duoxie, sirs.
There may have been a moment where the land under his feet was his board. There should be some trace of him somewhere upon it. But what is being sought is nothing more than a single black stone. When he walked the paths of possibility alone, seeking a way out for everyone, seeking a solution, did he ever feel this helpless? That endless, far too endless journey, long enough to make things like a being like him sense the passing of fleeting time. Man cannot touch the face of heaven. Any news?
Still nothing, but I believe some trace of him must exist somewhere outside the tomb.
Alas, if you truly did not want to see us, would all your efforts be of any use? Perhaps if the G is fading, he could not forgive Yan or himself. Ooh, Silver and Amy as guests. Oh ho ho! Brother Yu, maybe you could have your family reunion be done in Rhodes Island, yes. Easy enough. And Yan, can you put in a good word for your 10th brother that Rhodes Island is a recommended place to visit? Yeah! And Chen, can you put in a good word to Sister Yu, or just June, I mean? All it's missing is Jia.
Is it this new Yan he does not wish to see, or is it someone else? Maybe he does not wish to draw us into his next game.
Next game? His plots are all ended. What does next game even bring? What can it bring indeed? An even more hopeless matter.
He may have accomplished the replacement, but he was unable to make muddy waters run clear. But he will not give up. He will certainly be searching too for the traces she left behind in this land, for a glimmer of hope.
You're always the one who understood him best. So, still determined to look for him?
I am.
And once you find him?
I will let him know that the next time he needs help, he will not be alone.
I'm pretty sure he knows that, deep down. The long-lived man stops to rest his feet, turning his head to gaze off into the distance out of habit. Yet another year has passed. The snows are beginning to melt, turning the Chidao into a mud-covered bog. By the road, the withered trees sway, a sprinkling of new buds visible.
What's happening there?
Walk, walk, walk. It is an ordinary village with an ordinary Weiqi stall, though one surrounded by a bustling audience. Whether they watch because of a bitter battle or because of high stakes, he's unsure. Most of Sonic 3D Blast Saturn soundtrack is different from the Genesis soundtrack. Huh. Commenting spectator, it's over. Look at the points. How much money is he gonna lose over this game? Gratefully so, might I add. Imagine learning how to gamble with Weiqi at such a young age instead of studying properly. Look, you can't blame the kid. If it wasn't for his deadbeat gambler of a dad losing the entire family fortune at the board, not to mention his sick little sister. What is this unfortunate main character? If you're going to blame him, blame his lack of skill. Then again, the rich guy he's facing is a disgusting bastard. Look at the kid's black stones. Man, even a Xian would find it hard to save him. Helpless young man. The young man maintains his determined expression, seeming not to hear the many comments in the crowd, but the beads of sweat dripping off his brow expose the panic in his heart. It's obvious how things will end. He has at most 10 moves left. All he can do now is throw in the towel. He hesitates in placing his stone, even though he knows he cannot hesitate forever. 4-7. What the? Who's talking to me? 4-7, shoulder hit. The young man finally hears an distinct voice clearly as it dictates a move to him. As he considers this instruction, he sees a way to victory he's never considered. Wow, I wonder who's haunting this kid. Are you helping me? But who exactly is helping him? He looks about, finding no source of the voice. The young man returns his attention to the board, repeatedly calculating the feasibility of this breakthrough move. In the end, he's convinced. His victory is assured. He adjusts his posture, having calmed down a little. A charm of black jade pokes out of his collar, gleaming with a deep, inexplicable light under the winter sun. So brother's gonna haunt this kid for a bit. I love the thought of Brother Wang being like, I know I should be resting, but Wei Qi and this kid, you know? I'm gonna give him some pointers. I'm gonna teach him to become the ultimate Wei Qi master.
Congratulations on finishing the event, Misaki.
Thank you,
Every time
thank
we
you.
come back to Yan, it's always some type of family drama. Whether it's from the Sui siblings or some other folks, or even some of our operators.
It really is. So much family drama.
It's a consecutive family drama.
But
But one
hey, at least
thing
it
is
ended up
for
nicely.
sure.
Oh?
But one thing is for sure, this closes the chapter of the Sui siblings of their shared fate overworld. So this can be considered a new chapter whenever we come back to Yan. But for Brother Wang though, once he is recovered, maybe this time in his lifetime, he can finally has time to focus on himself and finding himself and just enjoying his life like his other siblings, finding
Yeah.
a passion. There is one conclusion to all of this. One that I noticed is that Ten is quite great at handling family matters personally.
Well, she's
know
used to
she
family
did-
drama.
Yeah, we know she did not learn that from Wei Yinbu. But the what not to do from Wei Yinbu, quite an effective role model to avoid.
Pretty much. She's like, as long as I don't do what he does, I'll be fine.
Yeah. But this is interesting because text to Shen, this sticks right after chapter 16, since it was about the time where Talula, 9, and Reunion go to Urses in the year 1102. And this takes place in autumn, meeting it's on the month between September to November. Meaning by the time we go back to Ursus, it might be on the year 1103 or at the end of the year 1102.
Ooh, exciting.
So what can you say about the Yan event?
It was satisfying. I'm happy that we were able to bonk Big Papa Sui. Though gosh darn it, yeah. I wish she could have had at least one smack at him, but no. She got there too late. She was too distracted by Ju and Ho.
Yeah, too much so. The roasting was too effective.
But hey, I'm surprised that Ju ended up at Rose Island as well.
Yeah.
He's just gonna roast us
I
from
don't
now
know.
on.
For the Ursus event, and for the main chapter 17, I'm planning to go by voice call again, if you do not mind.
Sure. Next we'll be prepping then.
Yeah. But do you enjoy my side commentary when I sharing my thoughts? I make sure to be thoughtful and not to suddenly interrupt you while reading and
Oh,
decide
no worries.
to only speak when you're done with the stage.
But yeah, no worries, no worries. But yay, next time it's gonna be Ursus prepping.
Yeah,
Yay
after
for-
the Siracusa short event after this, so you'll have some free time on Arknights for a while.
Maybe we're seeing more of our children from Ursus. Ah, for Gumi.
Yeah, we'll
That's the
be
most haunting right
revisiting
now.
Yeah, we'll be revisiting that whole theme. For
Food.
me, I personally already read through the prepping, and it's quite both oof and wholesome at the same time, in terms of what you can expect.
At least they're fine now in Rhodes Island. Give them a nice place to stay at.
Yeah, it'd be interesting since the prepping consists of between before the Ursus event takes place.
And that'll be good to learn about from more Ursus.
So if there's one more thing I'm curious at the end of the event, I wonder who did Rhodes Island send over to Yan in
I
terms
know,
of
right?
yeah, and to be all mysterious and all about. But since this matter is quite important to Rhodes Island objective,
Like heck, if they want to send over someone who has connections to Yan, I guess they could send over Blaze.
yeah, that's one option, but Blaze would not have that, let's say, tongue for the when it comes to Yan.
True. This could be a good practice for Monster.
Yeah, I guess that's also a good option as well. Monster is like more, let's say, open compared to Calcit.
So this would be a good experience for her. If it was her.
Yeah.
Hopefully we
What
learn
did you
about the
think
mystery
of-
person later.
What did you think of DS story in all of this?
It was a fun story in the end.
Yeah. So
So-
it was more of a bittersweet to the people she has left behind. Like Chun, per se.
Yeah, it was on the bittersweet side. So now I'm actually curious about brother number 10. Like, what is he doing in Sargon? Or what was he doing in
Yeah,
Sargon?
Yeah, I feel like he made quite a home in Sargon. Imagine if we'll encounter him during the next time there's a Sargon event. Maybe he will be in the Golden City. Who knows?
Oh, that would be cool. I want to see him there.
Since he's taking on an apprentice, I wonder what kind of job he is doing. A master of what exactly? Is what I'm curious of.
Because I doubt he's gonna be the same as Brother G, aka peddling stuff.
Yeah, let's just say he's quite reserved, more reserved to us, apparently, since he was not willing to come over to the family reunion. Like, come on, bro. That's brother you, your youngest sibling.
Though his apprentice seems nice, so he must be decent.
Yeah. all in all, I enjoyed the event, and hopefully you enjoyed my company as well with all the speaking.
It was fun, and the event was definitely peak.
Did you prefer me just typing my messages, or you enjoyed my speaking from time to time?
Like, I think both are like equally good.
See, good to know. Okay, the discussion, Misaki. I think it's almost time for your next stream. Once again, great job at finishing the Yan event. and have some break on Arknights for a while.
Thank you, thank you.
As the next time we will be busy again.
But yeah, I'm glad that I was able to finish the event tonight, and also I have all the nice stages to farm. But yeah, I'll be good and hop off for now then.
Yeah. See you next time, Misaki.
See ya! So that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day at Gotcha Luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye! Woohoo!